really, Trump had a right to say they were bugging his office and all that.
Well, what's new? What all of a sudden are you guys talking about?
That McCabe finally admitted it
because he was under oath and he didn't want to go to fucking prison.
What did he say?
That they discussed removing Trump because of the 25th Amendment.
Come on. There's nothing wrong with that. The guy does seem fucking crazy.
Right,
but that was not before he took office.
No, it was right after he took office.
Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
What's wrong
with discussing that?
Why? It's like saying, okay, let's have a coup.
No.
Let's have a coup. Let's get the military involved.
Why is there? That's not the 25th Amendment, getting the military involved. It's a real thing. It's if somebody's incompetent. So what is wrong with
They can't, no, not in this country.
Yes, we have a 25th Amendment for removing someone from political office who is not fit to serve.
Yeah, that's right. So what's your point? He
Wrong
wasn't even in fucking office when they were talking about it.
There's nothing wrong with discussing it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I might as well discuss Dan not being president. How we're going to remove him.
But there's okay. You're talking about a discussion. What I mean before.
It's in the Department of Justice who works for the administration who wanted Hillary Clinton in fucking office.
No,
they're talking about how to fucking put Hillary in office.
First of all,
my God, man.
First of all, she wouldn't be in office under the 25th if you fucking know anything.
Right.
All that would happen is the vice president would step up. It's a real deal. They have it there for a reason, so we never get a dictator. You know that. What's wrong with that? I mean, it would be different if they actually plotted illegally to do it.
I wonder what fucking, they did plot illegally. They went to fucking this dude who wrote this fucking expose on Trump that was completely false, paid for by Hillary Clinton.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
The only show anywhere of its kind this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, TheRealEstateMan.com. What's on your mind? How can we help you? Each and every day we call on our experts to answer questions that you might have about everyday life, the things that make you tick, the things that tick you off. We also seek to get directly involved in your life to solve problems. We really do it. There's really no other place in the media. That's why we call it media with a purpose. What does that mean? That means we don't just get on and pontificate. You can get enough of that crap. Don't you realize, you know what really gets me, is how people believe that what they say means anything just because they can toss a football or a basketball or they can act in a movie. Like, what the hell does that make them? Some kind of experts? Who cares? But anyway, I'm here to help you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Where do you really go if someone lied to you, cheated you, ripped you off? You know, so many people will say, well, I'm going to go to... I'll go to an attorney. Just to get to an attorney and sit down truly will cost you thousands of dollars if you want to bring a lawsuit. It's just ridiculous. It really is. So here's the bottom line. You can call us for help. You really can. And we do get help. 303-713-TALK. Larry, he contacted us. We're getting back to him. And that's what we do, by the way. If you contact us at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, or you email us, help@troubleshooter.com, we'll get back to you. So anyway, Larry, let's talk about this. What is going on in your life?
Yeah, I got this nice letter from this Duck Tigers.
Duck Tigers, yeah. From Asset Collections, your account with the above-named blah, 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 which means it's a form letter. But in any case, what do they want? They want money from you. How much and why?
$460. Why? When I first called them, I called them from Seattle. I see you have a $39 special. She says, oh, yes, we're trying to open up business in Denver. I says, great. Put me down and get my vents cleaned.
Gotcha. And what happened?
Well, the guy shows up. I told him I got a lot of medical problems.
That doesn't matter. That's not part of the duct cleaning. What about the duct cleaning?
I told him I have your $39 coupon and I don't want to go anything over that. I just want to give you
all right, I understand. You made it clear you wanted the special. What happened then?
He screwed around here for about an hour and a half.
Wait a minute. Did you sign anything?
I signed the receipt afterwards.
No, but you thought you were getting a $39 special. So how do you get from $39 to $400?
That's a good question. Actually, it was 560, and I sent them a check for 100, so they've got 100 of it.
Now, why though? Why did it top? They never mentioned anything but $39.
That's what the coupon said.
And we're missing something.
Yeah, we're missing something.
Small print at the bottom of the 39 says this equivalent to $250 cleaning.
Okay.
I stressed to him, that's all we need. I says we have a lot of medical bills. I don't want to.
Yeah, and by the way, Larry, the fact that you have medical bills, I understand. You mentioned that now 3 times. I understand that. But that has nothing to do with the transaction. What has to do with the transaction is what you agreed to. And I understand the medical bill part just goes to show you why you wouldn't have agreed to anything. I understand. But why do they feel, this is what I don't understand, why do they feel they can get you for more money? What are they going to show? What are, if I were you, I would just wait for them to take you to court and then show up and say, I'm not paying. I'm not paying, and here's why. I never agreed to it. What would they say if you tell them you never agreed to it?
Oh, that gentleman that waited on me spoke German, but hardly any English. And I says, when he showed me the bill, and I says, "Hey, how about this $39 coupon?" He says, "Not important." I said, "What?"
Okay, there's something somewhere that you signed. What's the name of the company? We got to make sure that what is the name again? We need to warn people about this.
Do you have a copy of the invoice they left?
Yes.
All right, I need to see it. Suzanne, we can't do anything without seeing further information. And what's the name of the company? Duck Tigers? It actually says Ducks Tigers. It actually has it spelled wrong here. Look, I don't think you're going to get a dime. How long ago was it? That's the point. Larry, how long ago was this done? This duct cleaning?
Let's see. Probably...
How long?
I'd say November, I think.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty recent.
I'm lost in something big time. He said $39 coupon, but yet he sent him 100. Why?
Probably just to get him off his back. He thought, I'll be fair. But that is a good question. Larry, why did you pay $39 on the spot?
No, I said, how about this coupon? The guy says...
Okay, so then you didn't pay anything. You didn't pay anything, Larry, on the spot, right?
Well, on the spot, I give him the check. I says... For
the 100? For the 100? Yeah. Why 100? Why 100?
Because I saw the 560, and I remember seeing the sheet. Now, when he got ready to leave, I looked for the coupon. It disappeared. But yet he told me...
Wait a minute. So you don't even have the coupon for $39?
No, it disappeared. It was on the table with the paperwork. And he told me...
You know what? This is... So now we don't... Well, now we don't even have proof of that. Larry...
Yeah, well, they do, because I called them several times.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to show it to us.
Of course. Oh...
Okay, Suzanne, I need to see what he signed. You know what, man? This is terrible. You don't even have the $39 coupon anymore. Mike, what's happening with you? Hello, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good. Nice I just hate when I hate stories like that where people get it. I just hate starting off with stories like that. Anyway, what's going on with you?
All right. My bad. Sorry. Hey, yeah, I got an employer. Didn't give me a paycheck stub for the entire year, and I have no idea how many taxes were taken out, and I haven't got my tax forms either, like a W-2 form.
Well,
so today's the day, and what do I do? What am I on the hook for? Is what I'm calling.
Well,
for.
No matter what,
you're on the hook for 10%.
Where's 10%? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. We were reading the IRS website.
Okay, Mike, let me explain something. Like you're on the hook for 100% of your taxes. So, here's the deal. If you don't know what was taken out, if you've never gotten... Did you get a pay stub?
Never.
Never. How were you paid?
I was paid in check. The stubs were blank.
And you got paid gross or net? You would know. For example, if you multiplied the number of hours, you know if... Did you get the whole amount of your pay?
I did not. I get $14 an hour, and there was taxes taken out.
Okay.
It just wasn't documented.
Well, here's what you have to do. Unfortunately, man, The IRS says that if you don't have W-2s, it's no excuse not to file. You have to estimate what you've been paid and what was taken out, and that's how you do it. For example, if every paycheck, if you have a record of the checks, and you do because you deposited them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you deposited, let's say, a $400 check, and you worked the equivalent of $600, then you would have $200 of that check taken out. And if you multiply the number of checks you had and how much was taken out, that's what you put down. And unfortunately, you have to estimate. There's nothing else you can do.
Right.
But
my question is, how do I find the employer identification number to even file?
To file what?
To file for this employer.
You don't file for the employer. You file for yourself.
Okay, so how do I... It's going to ask on the tax form.
No, I've never been asked. I've never been asked my employer's EIN number ever. Ever in a million years. If you work for a company, you do not have to know their EIN.
Okay, so how would I...
This is the unfortunate thing. Here's what you would do. Just go and fill out the taxes, and where it says income, put down the gross income you made, the gross. Multiply your hours, the gross. Then it says how many federal things were withheld. You estimate how much was withheld. You don't have the number for FICA or anything. You have to put down in an explanation, or go to H&R or wherever you want to go, you just say you did not get the information. Or you just put in the gross amount for the IRS, and then you send it in so you don't get a failure to file, and you give an estimated amount that you think was withdrawn. They'll contact you. If you don't file, you're going to have a failure to file penalty. You don't have to pay anything, because you're going to guess that maybe it's been already done. So you're just going to have to do the best you can. You can call the IRS as well and tell them the situation, but that still doesn't get you away from filing. And you can report the employer. You don't have to have their EIN.
That was my second part of the question. What is his... we think he didn't even pay the money. So what's the repercussion?
Let's say he took your money and did not pay it into taxes. Mark, we've had this before. We had it with Don Eiley, the payroll guy.
Yeah, he's not going to owe. He'll eventually owe the company side of it, okay, what we call the trust fund side. This guy wouldn't owe that, but this guy would owe his share of the taxes.
Right. They're going to credit you with whatever that company should have paid. They're going to credit you if he stole the money. If it wasn't taken out, you're going to have to pay it. You need to contact the IRS as soon as possible. But I don't understand this 10% number you said. What is that?
Well, according to I was thinking 10%. According to the IRS website, we're on the hook for at least 8% of it.
That's your share of it. Meaning, if he withdrew the money and did not pay it, you still have to pay your side. But
dang it.
It's way more than 8%.
But
if they say 8%, that's misleading. You have to pay income tax, period.
He should. The 8% is just the payroll side of it.
That's right.
So, I mean, you gotta feel me on this though, because I'm feeling ripped off.
Oh, you are, Mike.
The money was
Mike, you're totally ripped off. I get you, bro. What's the name of the company?
I'd rather not say.
All right. Well, when you want to help, you call and let us know. We can't do anything without the name of the company. But you contact the IRS, okay?
Right after the show, I got to have you edit some. I'd edit it. I just don't have my software here.
What is it?
Hour two of the best of. How Tim found this, I have no fucking clue. But hour two of the best of, towards the end, it says, you must have reset the interview. Like, there must have been an interruption and you reset it. And I didn't catch it last night.
What are we talking about? The interview show?
Yeah, the interview show, hour two, the fourth segment. At one point, you go, okay, let's just pick up where we left off.
Do you remember? Okay, do you remember? I said there was a fucking interruption and I couldn't find it.
It's a second hour, fourth segment, so we'll find it.
Okay.
I'm going to email myself right now to remind us. I can't believe Tim found it. Fuck, that's awesome. Although people like kind of fuck-ups like that occasionally. Seriously, don't you think?
You can be part of a stem cell research study conducted by Regenex and Dr. Chris Centeno. Now, he started the Regenex clinics. He's at Centeno Schultz. They are affiliated. And you know it's going to be genuine stem cell therapy. That's why they're doing this research study, to show the efficacy, how effective it is. If you have a shoulder problem, if you have any kind of a problem with your knee, so it's an ACL knee or a rotor cuff shoulder, they will enroll you in this study if you qualify. Find out more, or just call for an evaluation if you're interested in true living stem cell therapy. One of the few clinics to do real, true living stem cell therapy. Don't get ripped off by the chiropractors. 303-963-9201. AvoidSurgeryToday.com. 303-963-9201. AvoidSurgeryToday.com.
The pharmacist told me that my prescription would cost $89. I was shocked. I had insurance, and yet I still couldn't afford to take the medicine my doctor prescribed.
Speaking of Doug, discusses why he started.
I can't believe he found it.
I bet when he was loading it, he must have saw. Jeez, I have no idea how the hell he saw it. Honest to God. I was saying maybe he. Okay, I bet you this is what he did.
Does a tax return ask you to put the EIN number of who you work for? Ever? A tax return.
The tax return.
You'll have the EIN in.
I have.
But no, wait a minute. But
W-2, right?
You don't have to fucking add.
It'd be on your W-2 if it wasn't on the W-2.
Does the tax return ask for it? Does the tax return, I need to know, ask for you to put in the EIN number of your employer? I'm not talking about self-employed.
I have an account.
So if you work for goddamn General Electric, they want to know the EIN number, you have to put it in?
But it'd be on the W-2.
It's on the W-2, but they don't ask for you to put it in.
But you
maybe they do, though.
You send it in W-2, though.
Maybe they do ask you. Maybe they tell you, enter the information from the W-2.
I know it's on the W-2, but do you have to physically enter it on your return?
I bet you do.
I've never seen it.
The W-2 is just for a backup. It'll say, enter the money on the W-2.
The money, but not the EIN.
No, enter the info.
Have you entered the EIN?
I haven't done my own taxes for fucking 20 years.
We can ask Eric or Mallory or somebody.
I don't think it's on the form.
I don't think it is either.
But like say you got to include your W-2s that you put on there.
Well, of course you do.
So that would be the. So why are you asking that?
Somebody says yes.
If you want a beautiful kitchen, he's a direct stone importer, open 6 days a week, closed on Sunday. Give him a call.
When you enter the W-2 online, of course it does. That's because you have the. Okay. Now I understand what they're saying.
This is it. This is the hair color that's changing the way women think and feel about coloring their hair. This is the hair color that says, I don't need to go to a salon to get salon quality hair. This is the hair color that makes you want to say, I color my own hair. This is Madison Reed. I'm Amy Eric, founder of Madison Reed, the company I named after my daughter.
Do I care that she named a fucking thing after her daughter? I don't fucking care.
It's ammonia-free and delivered right to your door for under $25. Worried about finding your shade? Don't be. Madison Reed's online shade matching tool makes it easy. This is it. This is Madison Reed, the hair color that's changing the way women color their hair. Visit madison-reed.com. That's madison-reed.com. Get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code DenverHair. That's code DenverHair. Try it. Love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
It's up to Congress to declare if the president is.
That's right.
So not the DOJ.
That's right. That's right. However, any person or government member, anyone, can discuss it and open They can. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
I can't help but tell you about this Genesis guy. Man, Genesis Total Exteriors. If you're looking for home improvements, you will love GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Honesty and forthright. and they go from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs. Genesis Total Exteriors and Interiors, by the way. And it's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. You know, I said, when you fill out your 1040, they don't ask for an EIN number of your employer because you submit it with W-2s, and W-2s have it on there. However, it's pretty obvious if you're filing online and you have a W-2 in front of you and it says enter the information from your W-2, one of the pieces of information you're going to enter is an EIN number. But under normal circumstances, I have never, ever seen a written form where they ask you to put it in there. But maybe it's changed. Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors. Do you ever enter your employer's, and I'm not talking about self-employment, I'm talking about your employer's EIN number. Do they ask for that?
If you're filing online electronically, they do.
Because you have to enter what's on the W-2? Is that why?
Right, just so they can track it and go through their whole matching process.
But if you do a traditional conventional tax form and you staple or you include your W-2s, you don't do it. Now, that's what I'm thinking of. But I guess it's more accurate than not to say they ask for an EIN because probably now, Eric, do more people file online than mail?
Yeah, I think it's more than 50% now.
It is correct to say they ask for the EIN because technically they have to match the W-2.
Wait, if you hand fill it out, don't they ask for it as well?
No. If you do a tax form, they don't.
But here, the workaround is you could just do a paper file and use your last paycheck and just put in the numbers from your last paycheck.
Of course. That's what this guy was upset about. What if you don't get a W-2? That's what he was worried about. What do you do, seriously? If you can't get a hold of an employer, how do you fill out your taxes? How do you avoid a failure to file penalty?
There's two. One is, if it was me, I would just go ahead and file with my best estimate paper file. Then secondarily, you can go to the IRS and request a wage and tax transcript, but the only problem is it takes 2 or 3 months for that to come back.
So then you're screwed. You're basically screwed. You still get...
It was me, I would just file with my best estimate just to kind of get the ball rolling, because hopefully he knows what his gross is and his withholding from a pay stub, just to kind of get something into the system. And then he could call the IRS and request a wage transcript. It may not show up for 2 or 3 months, but at least he could get that eventually.
Okay.
If his employer didn't do anything, though, pulled a Don Eiley or an Eiley on him, he would still owe his portion, though, right? He wouldn't owe that trust fund part, but wouldn't he owe whatever he owed?
Yeah, what will happen is like about a year down the road, if there's no matching W-2 from the employer, he'll get a letter saying, hey, there's an issue here, but at least he's done his job as far as he can take it.
Jeez, that gets complicated.
It does.
Thank you, Eric, very much. 303-713-TALK. Hold on. Ann, you have a W-2 question. Maybe we keep Eric up. Oh, what's going on, Ann? Ann? Okay, we missed the boat on Ann, so we'll just hang up there and go to Susan. What's happening with you, Susan? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, what's happening?
Well, I wanted to get your feedback if you think how this was handled was fair or if I'm just out of luck. So on December 4th, I went and got my oil changed at a new garage because I got a coupon in the mail. It's South Denver Automotive. And then in January, I started to smell burning oil, and then I noticed some leaks. So I brought my car to Pro Auto Care in Denver, one of your referral garages.
Yes, I love them.
And it was my rear main seal, so they fixed it. And then a couple weeks later, I was still smelling burning oil, and then I saw some drips, so I brought it back to Pro Auto Care. And
how did they fix the rear main seal at Pro Auto?
What do you mean?
You said they fixed it. Did they replace the rear main seal?
Yeah.
That's a major deal. How much did it cost you?
$1,500.
Wow. Then a few months later, what happened?
A few weeks later. I was still smelling burning oil and saw dripping oil, so I brought it back to Pro Auto Care, and they said it was not related to their repair. They said the oil filter housing assembly was cracked.
Was it cracked before?
I don't know.
In other words, what I would ask immediately, I don't care who it is, wait a minute, I already took it here for for a leak, and if it was the rear main seal, fine. Because it could be you had more than one problem.
Well, they're totally separate places, man.
No, I understand that completely, but it would still manifest as leaking oil on the ground. But I want to know why they thought it was a rear main seal, and if they made a mistake, or if it was your cracked oil filter assembly all the time. But I have several questions. How many miles on this car?
80,000.
Okay, not too many. And to where you would have so many problems. How long have you owned it?
I bought it new. I've had it 5 years.
Okay, then that's another indication that it was probably taken care of if you maintained it. Now, this Denver Auto you went to, what did they do? What did you go there for?
Just an oil change because I got a coupon in the mail.
Okay, so that had probably nothing to do with it. I don't know. But here's the deal. Here's the question. You paid $1,500 for a rear main seal. And I'm not saying, by the way, for a second that Pro Auto Care doesn't do excellent work or they're not great people. However, I would have the same question you do. I went there and spent $1,500. I still had an oil leak. Now they tell me it's the filter assembly. So if it's the housing, filter housing. Now I'm sorry. I'd think, wait a minute. Was that the problem from the beginning?
Well, and so, Tom, here's my question. So,
how did they handle it?
So Mike at Pro Auto Care said that housing assembly was most likely cracked during my last oil change. So I called South Denver Automotive, and their manager said he gave me a courtesy $100 credit, but he's basically like, I can't do anything.
How much did it cost to fix the filter housing assembly?
$1,200.
At Pro Auto?
Yes.
Okay. Now, he said $100. Why?
Just as a courtesy.
First of all, how do you prove that he did it at Denver Auto? Did you have an oil leak before that?
I mean, not that I noticed.
Okay.
But,
it's hard to say. I'd be more... You're not even calling about what I would be calling about.
Right. I wasn't, Tom, until you just brought that up.
Well, I would be concerned, and I want them to look at it. I want to know if Pro Auto Care, how did they determine you needed a rear main seal?
I would guess they saw it leaking, man. I mean, those are
No, I know they're not liars. They're not cheaters. They're good people. They're great people. But it just seems too weird to me that you had 2 major oil leaks at 80,000 miles.
I wonder how the housing got cracked. That one's weird. The rear main, I mean, it happens all the time. But the housing, how did it literally get cracked is bizarre.
Right, and that's where Pro Auto Care is like, this is most likely from your oil
What
change.
kind of car is it?
It's a Jeep Wrangler, and I know they have...
Okay, never mind. Never mind. I take everything back. You could have very, 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 very easily had both problems.
I wonder if the housing, though, was caused by the oil change. Who did the last one? That other company?
Yeah, but how do you prove that?
That I don't know.
You can't. You can't. You know what? You just can't. That it probably happened. They probably torqued it too much. Who knows? Did these guys say it was torqued too much?
South Denver Automotive?
No. Pro Auto, when they took it off. They took it off. How did they feel? It was torqued down too tight or what?
I didn't get that level of detail from Mike. He just said this can cause this. It most likely caused it.
Yeah, but why didn't they find it the first time you went there?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I go back and talk to them. And you tell them you talk to me and say this. Look, I came to you with an oil leak. Is it likely that this filter housing was the one that was causing the leak from the beginning and I did not need a rear main seal? Okay?
Well, I called Mike at Pro Auto Care back after I talked to the manager at South Denver Automotive.
Yeah?
And shared with him the feedback.
And go ahead. What did they say? Let's get to that part.
Well, first of all, they said that they quoted a lower price to fix it if I had brought it back to them and they saw that it was cracked at the top and could connect it to the oil change. They said that they would have charged me less, and then they said that, I don't know, they were just questioning some of how Pro Auto Care billed me, which I'm not worried about that.
Well,
but that's what I called Mike about, because I was like, hey, I just want to share this feedback.
I want you to talk, no, you're going to call and talk to Al, the owner. That's who you talk to.
Okay.
And just tell him your concerns and then get back to us. I'm not saying they did anything wrong. You could have needed both things. But now there's another thing I want to tell you. Timing belt. Does that have a timing belt, that Wrangler? No, it has a chain. Okay, never mind. You don't have to worry about it. Just get back to us. I'm Tom Martino.
I would say 80,000 miles pretty low for a
rear main and an oil housing. Come on, man.
And I know they're two different things, but depending upon where it's at, the leak. How often do you see a filter assembly crack? I've never heard of that.
It's usually from torquing. I don't even know torquing. You would think the filter would crunch first.
Right, you would think that. You're right.
Yeah, usually it's from hitting something. Well, like let's say if it was a shop. Well, maybe that would even be hard.
Like, where's it located on a Wrangler?
I don't know.
20 seconds.
How did you know it had a chain right away?
All Jeeps do.
Oh, they do?
Okay, there's one that doesn't. You want to know which one?
The Willys.
Actually, I don't know if it's a Jeep. It was called the Eagle Talon. Was that a Jeep technically?
I think it was.
Eagle Talon. It was a car. It was just like a Mitsubishi car.
I'm Tom Martino for K&H Home Solutions. You can go make your own appointment at khwindows.com for windows, siding, doors. They also do roofs and gutters. Here's the deal. They have a special free upgrade to triple pane glass when you buy your windows. But I also want you to make your own deal. They have that deal too. What does that mean? Make your own deal. You know, like Priceline and you do your own airline tickets. I'm asking you to make your own deal. That means make an offer. Make an offer. Like 2-for-1 windows or 30% off or something realistic. The worst that'll happen is nothing. They'll say, we can't do it. Okay? You know you're already getting a free triple pane upgrade. What did you say? Throw in 2 doors if I buy 2 doors, you throw in the third. Just try it and email them with it or call them with it. 303-421-7100. Tell them you want to make your deal or email them at this email address. mydeal@khwindows.com. mydeal@khwindows.com. And let me know how it went. Okay? Now, make your own appointment at khwindows.com.
Did you say the year of that Jeep Wrangler? So 2014 that the oil filter on top.
She didn't say. I don't think I saw that, sir. That man did not have even the coupon for that.
I know. That whole thing was so okie dokie, man.
The guy said, I want that $39 special. Where's the coupon? It disappeared.
I don't have it. And then he gives them 100, which made absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. It's almost like he showed up, they did whatever, and he tried to tell them how much he was going to pay.
The most surprising thing to me was that I didn't know Kansas abolished the death penalty for some time, and then brought it back. It's so curious to me.
No,
okay.
That's a good.
What book?
The Clutter family, it's called In Cold Blood. It's this fabulous family in the 50s in Kansas who were just murdered by 2 ex-cons and for $40 in their house.
Wow, it was supposed to be they thought he had more money.
Another prisoner who used to work for the family farm had told these guys that there was thousands there, so they went there. Anyway, so I read the book. I just didn't know Kansas abolished.
You know what? Murder just breaks.
Okay, thanks.
How do people?
Full family, husband, wife,
teenagers,
daughter.
We'd end up eating at the bar. I mean, they might have some when we show up, but they're fucking booked till 9.
It's up to you. I don't care. It's up to you. And Joe Keanu will be here in a little bit.
I don't mind eating at the bar there, actually.
How did they treat you when you went back?
Oh, they love me now.
Did you talk to that manager?
Fuck yeah, I made sure he came over and...
What did you say?
Basically, I said, hey, I might have been a little out of hand, but that really irritated me, and he apologized, and I apologized.
And you know he got a reaming for that.
Oh, I guarantee it. And every time we go now, he usually comps me something. Last time it was our appetizers and salad or something. I don't know. He's a good guy, man, now that I know him. I think he was having a shitty day.
But for him to say...
The tall guy, do you remember the tall guy who was there too?
Right.
Yeah, he actually, he rides with Boyles. So, I mean, he listens to the shows. Hey, man, say hi to... I think he thinks Pete's still here or something. But I can't picture Boyles on a bike.
Oh, yeah. He rides.
Does he even look like a biker?
Yeah.
Does
yeah. And he really rides. I mean, he's not afraid of it.
He's got it. I just can't do it. I'm terrified I'd die on a bike. Man.
A lot of people
I was such an asshole on a bike. I swear to God, if I were alive, I don't know.
I'm not good on a bike.
I thought I was good.
I'm too distracted. But I'm good on an aircraft. But no.
I rode 2 feet behind a semi for about 400 miles. If that guy fucking slammed his brakes on, we would have died.
Oh, you just did it to so.
No, it was raining. It was raining so fucking bad I couldn't see it unless if I was literally behind the semi, and we had to get off. We were young. We were like fucking 18. Well, I was that asshole that would weave in and out of traffic and do the whole thing. I look back and honest to God.
Do you know in California you're allowed to drive between cars?
Yep. When we were there for a wedding last summer,
it blew my mind.
I thought these guys were fucking breaking the law, and then I saw them pass a cop, and the cop was doing the same thing.
Hello, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Maria, welcome to the show. What's going on, Maria? Thank you for calling.
Oh, thank you, Tom. I sent your staff an email, and they were very responsive. It's about an RV sale that we think is too good to be true.
Oh, I'm glad that you called beforehand. Tell me about it.
Well, my husband, through Facebook, because we look for RVs, we want one day, clicked on and popped up in his Facebook and showed it to me. It looked okay. And so clicked on the link, email me for information, and then that started this email string. Basically, it's a 2006 Fleetwood. You know, it's a Class C type.
A Class smaller. C?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a cab over. Is that the cab over on a van?
I don't think
it doesn't matter.
Cab over. No, it looks conventional.
It's not a motorhome, is it?
It is. Yeah, it's a RV motorhome kind of.
Okay, that's a cab over. It's called. I mean, a Class C is a van with a cab. Okay. When I say cab over, it's over the cab. It's either a truck or a van with a camper on the back, not a camper, but not a trailer either. You know what I mean? An RV.
It's a trucker van chassis.
Yeah, trucker van chassis, and usually there's an overhang where they put a bed up over the cockpit. Anyway, so what's going on with it?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, 2,500, which I know is.
Wait, 2,500?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that sounds weird. But where was it out of?
She's in Montana. She says she's gone through a divorce. She moved back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a great deal if truly it's a great deal.
It's odd she advertised it on Facebook, though.
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, it was a pop-up ad. My husband was on Facebook, but it's pop-up. Anyway.
That's my entire point. Someone paid for that. Why would some lady selling a camper for $2,500 run a Facebook ad?
Right.
Not sure. But anyway, the thing, the red flag for me is she says, the vehicle at the Google Pay department crated and ready to go.
No. That's a scam. That's a scam. Okay. I've seen them before. I've seen them with exotic cars. So when they say it's a Google what?
Google Pay.
Yeah.
And then they call it a department.
Yeah. How do they want you to pay?
She just shipped to us in 2 to 3 days with the title, bill of sale, etc.
And how do you pay? How do you pay?
She didn't detail that. She said Google Pay will contact us.
Yeah, and then they're going to give you a false link. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a total scam.
That's what I thought.
Just save yourself the headache and go to Century RV. They have one of the largest used inventories in the state.
You ought to do that. Really, Century RV is right up. In fact, where are you located?
Brighton.
Okay, you go up north on I-25 to the 119 turn off to Longmont. They have a place there for new and used. They have a service department. But they also have an indoor facility just west of the city in Lakewood. It's north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. Okay. And I'm serious. They're good people. And you know what? A lot of people come from around the country to shop there. What you ought to do is do your shopping online and then call people and then compare them. Just use them as one of them and compare them.
I'm reading this ad.
By the way, 303-453-1111 for those listening, 453-1111. Go ahead. What are you seeing?
Okay, so it's $2,500. It's got the V10. It's a Fleetwood Tioga, 2 slide outs. I mean, this thing's the Taj Mahal for $2,500. It is 100% impossible.
Yeah, I love
That's
Wavy.
what I thought.
You know what, though? Could you play along? I just want to see what they do. Just let me know, and then give me the link.
Oh, okay. Well, what they wanted was our name, address, and our phone number.
Wait, your name, address, and phone number.
Right. And then from there...
You know what? Why don't I just call? I'll just call and say I saw the ad.
I don't even think there's a phone number, is there?
No. No, it's email address.
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is that maybe she
I like how she puts newly divorced in the ad. So what is that supposed to make her look like an idiot or something because her husband's not around? I mean, the whole thing is just says scam from top to bottom.
Yeah. So anyway, Century RV 303-453-1111. You'll really like these people. And let's talk to Kyle. Kyle, what's happening?
Hey, guys, I think that you are spot on. That is a total scam. Absolutely.
Oh.
But I do want to point out that Facebook Marketplace is actually now a new selling platform, kind of like Craigslist.
It sounds like Craigslist.
And it very much is. And I've signed up for it on my Facebook page, and I get very legitimate sale ads. So just because the ad shows up on Facebook doesn't mean it's a scam. Although this one is a scam.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Saying. Have you ever seen anything that you've shopped for there?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
I
what?
Bought furniture there.
Really?
I bought furniture there. I bought repurposed lumber on Facebook Marketplace. And actually, what's interesting about it is that it has a faster turn time than Craigslist.
Here's the biggest problem that I see with Facebook advertising like she's talking about.
Yeah.
Unlike Craigslist, where anybody can go search for anything, they're targeting old people. They're targeting people they think they can rip off.
And I do not disagree with that. What I'm saying is that I willfully signed up for it.
So Kyle's making a point. She is saying just because it's Facebook Marketplace does not make it a ripoff, and that they're not all scams, and she found some good stuff there.
Same with Craigslist.
It's safe to say, it's safe to say most of Craigslist is a scam, I think, or is that
or personals.
I think you can tell the scams just by...
There's a lot of free shit. People are just trying to get it picked up and moved. I had
free shit away.
I had them come over.
Have 2 spots in this break.
A full, when my kids got older, they no longer used that big play thing. It was wood and...
like an outdoor thing?
Yeah, like a slide and swings, everything. These 2 came over, disassembled it, put it in their truck, took it off, didn't cost me a nickel. They're looking at it as a free swing set. I'm looking at it as I didn't have to spend 2 days taking it apart.
24/7 30 spot. Right now,
do you know what I love? Those small Mercedes Class C's. I like them.
630 K. How?
Mark.
Russell Stover is here.
Isn't that what you got, Steph?
Valentine's Day is today.
No, Mercedes. No, I'm talking about a motorhome.
Oh, the Sprinter van. Love them. They're the Sprinters. They're so tiny, though.
They also got Chrysler's ones on those too. Those Sprinter.
Fix It 24/7 will come and clean your furnace and check it for just $39.95. Listen, or no, just $39 period. Here's what's great about it. Now listen carefully. They take out the blower motor. They take apart the burners. They take it apart to the extent they can. They take off the panels that they can. They clean everything, and they give you a no breakdown guarantee. You will never find better work, cheaper. You'll never find this deal. $39 for the next 20 people. 720-526-3939.
Tom, we've got Raleigh House 30 spot right after this.
I just give away 2 more toilets and stuff. Tell you to get rid of toilets. They come and get them.
Isn't it amazing?
Put them out on your driveway. Boom.
They take your old shitter. It's just wild to me.
No, they're not cracked.
No, I know.
You know, or
doesn't matter.
Stuff, but that's pretty good, right? Otherwise, you got to break them up and throw them in the trash.
Toilet.
I know.
Honest to God, it's just weird.
They do it quickly.
Please remember this number. If you need help or information, anything surrounding addiction, anything, theRaleighHouse.com, local treatment addiction facilities, beautiful locations, but that's not the reason for this. This is a totally free information line for any information you need on addiction, anything at all. 720-963-9201, 720-963-9201.
Attention everyone, I have a President's Day.
They have nothing else. Craigslist keeps stuff out of the junkyard.
Dell's President's Day sale is live as we speak, and it's money.
But,
it's just so weird.
But I mean, a lot of stuff people sell on it, they would have ended up going to...
David's in the third, but I'm working on into content for the call, okay? So can you take that next? Pretty please, thank you.
Personalized help finding
There's no way Facebook is going to keep scammers from out of there, too.
You know those Starbucks little egg bites are good, and they're carb-free.
What are they?
Little egg bites.
Are they eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. They're carb-free.
They're just delicious.
Just what are they, deviled eggs? Or?
No. They just scramble them up some. They put them in a form so they look like a little muffin, but they're egg and ham and cheese or whatever.
But it's scrambled?
Well, I think it's baked. Whatever it is.
That's like scrambled.
Yeah, and then they bake them, and they come in two like that. And for $4.95, you get two of them, and it's all egg, and it's just good. It's just a good breakfast.
Well, if I ate breakfast, I'd give it to you. That sounds healthy.
It's good.
Eggs are really super.
The all-around good food.
There's nothing wrong with them.
What a bad name.
And they're great with
Here's what's great when these people say, I want egg white, you know.
Yeah.
It's like they think they're getting ahead.
It's
just such bullshit.
But even if I want
they don't
all egg white.
So Mark, I was actually thinking of getting us, for me and the kids doing shit like that this sprinter. I mean, I think they're so.
It would drive you nuts or two. So
yeah, but it's not like
my neighbor's got one.
It's just like road trips and something.
Well, road trips would be fun with it.
They put like a bed and back on. You know, have
they have it.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a full room in it.
They're really cool looking.
I'll tell you what you want. If you want something like that, you go a little bit bigger, and it's called the Vegas. Just search Vegas RV. Just search Vegas RV. We looked at those.
Oh, well, then I don't want it. Because you're talking
No. They were way
I'm
too...
talking about, oh, I see it. How big is that? That's cute.
Yeah, they're fucking cool. They're called RUVs.
Really? They're cute, but they're motorhomes, right?
Yeah, they're bigger than you're talking about.
How many feet are they?
They come in different. You can get the real small one.
Aren't they cool looking?
They are cool, man. We looked at them, and they're fucking really nice. They're top notch, man. 25 feet, 20 feet. You can, I think the smallest one you can park in a garage.
Did you look up their pictures? I did after I finished the book.
The price is really good.
I didn't.
There's tons of
But the book I had like the father.
Oh, mine didn't.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't, because the kids had glasses and stuff, or at least
how cute.
I know they talked about that. Why did they look like a great family?
They have all different kinds of names.
Yeah, I guess the old time, farm family.
Yeah,
It's black and white.
She was little. She had.
Here's a 23.
Yeah.
This one,
They didn't deserve to die, though.
A 23 Thor Gemini. I don't know if you'd want a Class C then, because then I don't think
Is this a C? Or an A?
the RUV isn't.
It's technically an A, isn't it?
I would think so, because you want to be able to move around while moving, right? Yeah. That's the problem with those cab over ones, is they're separate from the living quarters.
No, you can get through to them.
Can you?
Wait.
Some of them maybe.
No, most of them you can, Mark. Yeah, look at that. You get through.
I guess I'm thinking old school with those things that sit in the pickup.
I'm Tom Martino. Today, I guess, is Valentine's Day show. I guess we should acknowledge these love songs that the General's playing, but we don't. We usually make a big deal about Valentine's Day, and we have people sing to people and all that. but we don't have our people in today. And,
I'll sing to customers and people.
Here's the deal. I think it's a wonderful day for people that are in love. But you know what I also found? And I'm in love. Everyone's in love here in this office. Well, Dan's in love with himself. Anyway, but
he's got a heck of a relationship.
Here's the deal. I think it really makes people sad this day too, though, don't you? For those who don't have anybody. So, no, it does. I think it's an extra lonely day for some people.
Hallmark holiday, as they say.
Anyway, Gene has a question. Gene, welcome.
Yes, Tom?
What can we do for you?
Well, my mom recently died, and my beneficiary was the executor was my uncle.
Yes.
And they're going through all the procedures and shit without us, the kids knowing.
Okay, hold on one sec. I got it. Okay, just hang on, all right, Gene? We're just going to have to wait on this. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Gene called, and he's asking about his deceased mom's house being sold. And so you listen, Gene, because Gene slipped. You know, I could tell he didn't mean to be vulgar. He just said a word, and so I zipped it out. So, Suzanne, what's his main question?
So, my understanding, Tom, is that the house that was within the estate sold a few weeks ago. He has not seen any proceeds from the sale of that house. It's only been a couple weeks. I think his question is, how long should he wait?
Okay, and in general, how does he know if he is even in line for anything? That's another thing.
My understanding is it was him and his siblings that were in the will.
Okay, did he see the will? Do you know?
That I have no idea,
All right.
Tom. This call came in yesterday. A lady called for him, and we thought we should just get him on directly.
David, what's the procedure if you are an heir and they sell real estate? This question comes up all the time, David, and I ask the same question over and over. How the hell do you know it's proceeding properly? And how long does it take?
Well, how do you know it's proceeding is you can either make a request of the personal representative, but if they are not receptive to it, you can write a letter to the court, or you could petition the court for information. As far as the sale of it and him or her not receiving the some of the proceeds, there are lots of good reasons why. And one reason could be they owe tax on the sale of the house. Could be their tax returns that need to be filed, and there may be tax liability. Could be that you publish this notice to creditors, which means 4 months. The creditors can come back and make a claim. There may be other creditors out there.
So it's
not... There are a lot of good reasons not to distribute it. As far as when, again, once these time periods have gone and these other things have been done, there's no reason not to.
Okay. So basically, it's going to be more than a couple weeks for sure.
Yes, it could be a couple months, and I don't know where they are in the probate procedure, so I can't really say that, but I can say there are good reasons why it would not be distributed, and certainly not in that 2-week or so time frame.
All right. Well, thank you very much. David Salisbury can answer any and all questions. In fact, all initial consultations are complimentary. And he flat rate prices everything. So if he's going to do a will, it's a price. If he's going to handle this or that or the other thing, it's a price. A trust, it's a price. I like that, by the way, with attorneys. 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911. So, Gene, really what you need to do is ask the personal representative, your uncle, how long do you anticipate this will be? Really, just ask straight up. And then call us back. Just let us know. All right, Susan had a problem with her car, and I asked her to call back the shop and ask about the pricing and the problems and the different things. We're going to talk to her coming up. She's back. Bud has a letter from a consumer reporting agency we'll talk about. Whatever is your issue, whatever is on your mind, let us know, okay? Because we have definitely experts and everyone we can contact for you, so stick around.
This is...
Hey everyone, Carrie here.
This is really crazy reading this article.
Which article?
So Amazon's second headquarters is going to be New York City.
Why?
Because of that crazy.
That's so fucking expensive.
Because of that crazy Democrat, today they came out and just said, "Fuck it, we're done. We're leaving. We're not going to do it in New York." 25,000 jobs in Brooklyn.
What crazy Democrat? Oh, the
Alexandria Ocasio.
Oh, is that why they said?
Cortez. What's that middle name? Ocasio? Alexandria Ocasio?
You're the one that likes her.
Simply put, you need to generate.
You told me that.
Our mission is to serve.
They didn't say that was the reason.
No, it's exactly why. In fact, the picture of her is right under the headline.
A lot of people were complaining because they're getting big tax breaks.
What could she do wrong?
She wanted us to take the tax breaks away.
No tax breaks for them, which of course is why they decided to go.
Do you know? So I looked up the 50 cities that are in
if you look at
issues.
If you look at the 25,000 jobs that would be created, okay, and these are all jobs over 15 an hour, everything New York City wants. If you look at that and the tax revenue from those compared to the fucking breaks they gave them for X amount of years, I bet you they make more taxes having the jobs because everybody's leaving New York.
So what do you think are the two cities that are most going to go bankrupt?
Well, it's got to be Los Angeles and New York.
No, I would have thought LA. They're not in the top 50. Chicago, New York.
No. Yeah, so they're
Chicago's in bankruptcy. Or maybe I'm thinking of Detroit.
That's why they're so yummy.
One's in bankruptcy.
But Chicago and New York are the worst of the 50.
Well, New York's horrible because they were, what was it, $2 billion budget deficit in the first quarter or something?
And they blame Trump?
Of course they do. Who else do you want?
It's so funny.
What is their tax rate? Is it 13% like California? Well, actually, New York City.
Well, here they got a state and they got a city tax.
You'll see. Wait till they try to do all that shit here in Denver.
You know,
I'll stick in Douglas County. They can do whatever they want in fucking Denver.
You know, they complain about they're limited to $10,000 of that they can itemize, you know, as far as their taxes and its property tax from the state. That's only right. Otherwise, the federal government subsidizes those states, those high tax states.
So in the third hour, we took care of David.
You're right about that.
So New York City income tax is 8.82.
Wow.
And then we also did
New York City.
New York City.
That's New York State.
That's what I was going to look at now. New York State.
You can, yeah, okay, good.
New York State.
Lightens the load.
So New York State income tax.
Mark, they have Class Bs and Class C. Oh, I know what the difference is. Do you know the difference between Class Bs and
There's
Class
another
Cs?
8, so they
Mark,
match it.
There's the difference between
Unless there's just one.
Between Class Bs and Class Cs.
Yeah, one you can't get through. Right?
That's right. The B is a customized band, but you can't get through.
You don't want
and the
that.
C you can.
You know, you can use ours anytime you want them, man. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's whatever. Your kids would love it.
Probably way more than it. Yeah.
Just bring it up to. They'd love even Tiger Run, man.
That's 16, not 13, is California. That 16 is New York, the city and state.
And if you get something like this, when our garage is done, I mean, my garage is huge, man. You could park it in there, as long as it's something like 23 feet. It wouldn't even faze me.
And then what's the sales tax? That's another thing, is the sales tax on that stuff.
Let's do this. If I live in...
I know Hanny's always complaining about it, but
which could mean
he's always there.
Income
so bring
tax.
your prescription to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with United Healthcare, Cigna HealthSpring, and Express Scripts Medicare. For a complete list
Can
of
you imagine the New York Stock Exchange pulled out of there? Holy cow.
It wouldn't be the New York Stock Exchange.
Well, right, but I mean, can you imagine the jobs?
Oh,
because a lot of corporate headquarters
You know
in New
what?
York just because of
Let me tell you
that.
something. If she keeps fucking with people, you know, you can't fuck with. If people are producing and helping, I mean, there's reasons.
They don't
that
understand.
Amazon thing is unbelievable.
They don't understand that. They don't understand that jobs.
When people,
where money comes from.
All those people she
Politics-
represents would love those jobs.
Politics of envy, it's called, and it doesn't work.
I agree. It's well, like I
No,
said,
your whole thing with the yachts tells the whole story.
Yeah.
You put a luxury tax on something, ultimately who do you hurt? The fucking guy building the
I
yacht.
know it. Where do you feel you're hurting somebody else?
They're still going to have the money to pay even the luxury tax if they want the fucking yacht.
And
or they
still
say, fuck it, I ain't going to get the
they
yacht.
still pay a
don't.
sales tax on it.
Or they
So
buy
they
them
get
overseas,
Well,
Mark.
they lose the sales tax.
Mark, they buy them overseas.
And keep them overseas. And unfortunately, bottom line is, it gets too bad. For $1 million, you get fucking residents in Switzerland or Dubai, and you're done.
I'm going to tell you something California does, or they were doing, and I think it went to court. If you fly to California in your jet, and you park it there.
You said this with the big RVs, too.
If it parks more than a certain number of days on the ramp or in a hangar, they'll charge you state sales tax.
Or no, state
use tax.
Use tax.
Okay.
Just like...
Or like, as if it's domiciled there, even if it's not.
Hey, Colorado does. If I had an RV, a big one, and trust me, I looked into this like you can't believe it. They pay a bounty to your neighbors if you have a fucking RV. Literally, it says it on their fucking page, man. If I have it registered somewhere else and have it here more than 1 month out of the year, they think I should be paying fucking road taxes here. 1 month.
1 month?
1 month.
So how do you do that then?
You don't. You register it here.
No, I know.
What about people
what happens? You only come here for a month.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
So you got to have it in several different states.
I'm sure if they here's what they probably think. If you own a fucking house here and you have an RV.
Oh, okay. A house, yeah.
If you're a resident here, I'm sure that's where it goes.
Gotcha.
As certified financial planner professionals.
Actually, I think it was California that started taxing ball players and stuff when they did a game in California.
They do with actors too, don't they?
No, they do that.
No, they did, but I think California.
No, he's saying
started
if you're a Rockies. Oh, you're saying everybody does it?
Well, no, they didn't used to.
I know an accountant who does 16 returns for these guys because they have to do a state return everywhere they play a game.
But it didn't used to be.
Why do they have to? I don't understand that.
Because if they're playing a game in California or New York or Texas or
Okay,
wherever,
so if you did a radio show, if you worked for iHeart and you do a radio show in California,
no, that's not syndication.
Okay.
No. I mean, if you went to fucking, if you went there and did a weekend show, you would.
Oh yeah, I pay California sales. Income, absolutely.
For the money, and they divide your salary up for how many days.
Well, how about like if Hannity goes out to California to do a live at the fucking border, which happens all the time.
It's if.
But then why would a baseball player have to do it for 3 hours if he can do it for 3?
Because they're saying he's making part of his money for that, whereas Hannity does not have a schedule where he has to be there. If he had a schedule where he went around and did a week in every city, I'll guarantee you they'd come.
So, okay, then let me take it down here. A Broadway play that comes to the Denver Performing Arts
They
Center.
have to pay tax.
Those guys pay.
That's right.
But they do better here than being in New York, though.
They're like, get me out of New York.
I know it.
They pay. That's a nightmare for those traveling and even circuses and shit. They have to pay state taxes, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. You should see how they pay it too. They just divide their salary up on many games. Boom.
I'm Tom Martino. This is the Troubleshooter Show, media with a purpose, where we actually, hear from you. If you've been lied to, cheated, ripped off, you just have an inquiry, you want to unload, you want to maybe do an on-air review, and you just want to get some help, that's what we do. And this hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. The best. It really is. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Because if you have a problem with the garage door, you don't want to start thinking, who do I get? Some clown to come over. These people have been up and down the Front Range doing excellent work. He runs it like the military. He's a former Marine Semper Fi. He loves doing things the right way. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Hey, listen. Bud's got a letter from a consumer reporting agency.
Real
so
quick.
he says 303-713-TALK. Susan wants to talk about that Repair Pro Auto, and we'll go over that. Mark?
Real quick, headline, every single news agency, Amazon pulls out of New York City. That was 25,000 jobs going there, man. We're talking people in the Bronx, we're talking Long Island, 25,000 jobs because they're terrified they're going to get taxed too much now. That's huge consumer news.
Now, it is huge consumer news, and again, they were getting incentives to go there, and the age-old question is, at what point do tax incentives become a detriment, or when do they help? And you have those who believe that really, the bottom line is this. Corporations and rich people don't pay enough taxes. That's what it is. And if they start attacking them too much, they simply alter their plans. It's just the way it is, whether we like it or not. It's not a political statement. If you start taxing things too much, people avoid it. The yacht tax, the luxury tax, it killed the yacht industry. But guess what? Not one billionaire suffered. Not one. You know who suffered? The people who work on the teak, the people who install the electronics, the people who do the hulls, the fiberglass and composite workers. That's who hurt in Cape Hatteras and all over North and South Carolina. Here's the point. There's a balance somewhere, isn't it? 303-713-TALK. Bud, what is this letter you got from a credit reporting agency? And we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. We promise to give you our efforts to help. So what's this letter?
Yeah, Tom, I've received 3 letters from this company called ARS, Advanced Resolution Services.
I don't know who they are. Maybe it's a scam, maybe not. What did they say they're going to do?
Ohio. And they claim to be a consumer reporting agency subsidiary of Visa. And
what do they say they're going to do?
Well, they're just notifying me that over the last year, roughly, they've notified whoever's checked, I guess, that there's been one occurrence of unauthorized card use on my account.
That's what they say. There's been one. And what do they want you to do?
Well, that's nothing. They say if I want a copy of this report, you know, I have to give them a bunch of information.
And how do they know it was unauthorized?
Excuse me?
How do they know it was unauthorized?
I don't know.
Well, did you have an unauthorized use of your card?
Well, I think maybe a couple years ago I did, and Visa contacted me and said that they caught it. They canceled that card and gave me a new one. But that was outside this time frame that this company is talking about.
Well, listen, there are 2 kinds of scams. One, they want material money. They want money. 2, they want information. With the information, they get money. It all comes down to money.
Right.
They're not asking you to do anything, so ignore it.
Okay.
I mean, they're hoping, I guess, you're curious enough to contact them, and then they're going to want information. And when they get information, they will use it to get money if it's a scam. I don't know what their game is. It sounds like a roundabout way to scam somebody.
Well, they're part of Visa.
Okay. Called ARS?
They went online. They have no
they're
website.
a subsidiary.
They went online, looked at different posts and articles.
But they don't want anything.
No, they don't want anything.
All right. Well, I guess, listen, man, I wouldn't do anything then. That's just the way it would be with me. Okay, so Susan had a repair done on her Jeep Wrangler with 80,000 miles. She had an oil leak. So she said, I need you to find it. Pro Auto Care said she had a rear main seal go out, and they charged her $1,500. Well, okay. She still had a leak. She goes back, and they say, your oil filter housing assembly is cracked, likely from an oil change. But the point is, it cost her $1,200. So she spent $2,700. My only question, and it didn't matter who it is, I would ask this no matter who did it. Could it be that oil leak was all along the oil filter housing assembly, which was $1,200 to fix, and she could have prevented that $1,500 repair? Maybe she didn't need it. I mean, I would ask that. When she called, she wasn't even questioning it. She was asking what she could do about the people who did her oil change, who possibly cracked her assembly. And I said too much time had passed to prove it. But in any case, Susan, I asked you to talk to them about this. What did they say?
So Al is out of town, but I talked to Mike at the Denver location, and he said that where the oil leaks from that housing assembly is different from the main rear seal, and he said the main rear seal was definitely leaking, and they were not related.
Okay, so he was convinced that you needed both.
Yes, and he felt bad, and he did offer me a free oil change.
Good, take it.
Yeah.
But listen, whenever somebody has multiple repairs, everyone begs the question, did I need them all? Or were they hunting? I'm not saying that's the case here, but I just want people to know that we care. We really care when you use our referral list. And we want to make sure everyone is doing their job properly, and we don't have any doubts usually at all. Mark, welcome to the show, Mark. What's happening?
Yeah, I was just calling about a sort of same situation as the lady with the fifth wheel.
That's right. She was wanting to, well, it wasn't a fifth wheel. It was a cab over. It was a Class B or a Class C. She wanted to know about it, and she wanted to know about Google Pay Department, and it all was a scam. So, and it was a low price, too good to be true, and we averted that scam. So what do you need to know, sir?
Well, I'm in the same boat. I've seen a 2004 Dodge F1 or 150, and on Craigslist, this thing was in great shape. So I responded, and she responded back, Lieutenant something, that she could ship it, and she only wanted $1,000 for this truck.
Well, it's okay. Come on, man. I mean, and then she's going to ship it. Does that make sense to you, Mark?
No, that's why I didn't do nothing. And it was.
How are you going to pay for it?
Through eBay.
How?
She said that once, same deal. I got to the end of the conversation. Once I sent her my name, my address, my phone number, she would set it up with eBay and get back with me. That's why I was calling.
I wouldn't have. You see, if it was me, I'm not telling you to do this. If it was me, I'd play along with name, address, and phone number. I would play along. Where did you? And then I'd just see what they want. Where did you see it advertised?
On Craigslist.
Oh, you have a phone number then?
Well, this is the funny part, is that when I responded on Monday morning, it's her son's phone number, supposedly, with the 719 area code, but the truck and the lieutenant is what she on her email.
I know, but when you call the phone number, who do you talk to?
I haven't called the phone number. It's via text.
Would you call the phone number?
Yeah, I can call it.
Call it and say, I want to know more about the truck. Like, how much will shipping be, or is that included?
It's going to be all phony baloney. No one's going to answer that phone. It's going to be some kind of weird text number.
Let's see if they do.
Never. Lunch.
Who cares? Who cares? It's no lunch. It's just see, because then we'll have fun with it. So, Mark, call and ask a question like, how much more? I realize the truck is $1,000. How much is shipping? Okay? I mean, really, call us right back with that. 303-713-8255.
Drinking Diet Coke every day increases risk of dying young from stroke and heart attacks.
Really? Yeah. Coke Zero or Coke?
It says Coke every day. Diet Coke every day.
Diet Coke. Wow. I used to do that all the time. I call it diet joke.
So did Susan.
I did too. I did way more than one a day.
It says just two diet drinks a day increases the risk of stroke by 1/4 and heart disease by 1/3.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Wait, diet though, they're saying. Read about it.
Diet drinks are not
harmless. I want to send me the link. That's odd. I want to see what it is, because it's not glycation, so what is it? Yeah, chemicals. I want to know what it is.
It's in your inbox.
Oh, wow. Does it look like a legit study?
Oh, yeah.
So Mark just brought up.
Box full of chocolates for your Valentine's.
California.
Don't forget.
Okay, 5 seconds. Revitalize Health. No loud talking. You should have your hormones checked if you're over 35. Really, we deplete our hormones as we grow older. We also don't produce as much. So if you are concerned about your health, hormones are a building block for health. Testosterone, estrogen. With your thyroid, you have either overactive or underactive. They can check it all at Revitalize Health. They also do BioT treatment, which is the most natural delivery of hormones, and they do other age-defying treatments, like, for example, a thread lift for just a few $100s. Revitalize Health, started by 3 brothers out at 470 in Ken Carroll, and that's why I gave them the name, thehormonebros.com. Oh, they must sound like fun, but they're serious when it comes to truly battling age and helping you optimize your hormones. Thehormonebros.com, 720-361-2302, thehormonebros.com.
Dude, this study's legit. 12-year study, 81,000 postmenopausal women. I don't know why that is, but that is it.
What they did on obese women.
But it's the sun, for God's sakes.
It's crazy.
The sun is a terrible thing.
I just wanted to let Daphne know so
Why
she
do you
can be on
say that?
standby for him.
No, he's coming.
It's like the Inquirer. Okay, I want to see
The sweetener.
What's that?
The sweetener that they
I don't
use.
know if it's a sweetener because some of them.
It's got to be something in there.
Well, should it tell us though? That's what I want to know. Diet drinks are not harmless. That is a wow.
When you can go to Neo Kids Dentistry.
Oh, man, it's crazy. It goes down to say increased risk with a range of diseases from obesity to bowel disease, even Alzheimer's. But it never talks. No one is saying why. All they're saying is increased risk.
I know, but I want to know why. That's the important thing.
Remember back in the day, it was always the women were always drinking.
I'm going to get the study.
Oh, TAG was the first.
I know.
Talk about another one that blew it.
Yeah.
How did they blow it? They owned it.
What I want to do is I want to ask.
Remember Coke?
I want to ask Ron.
Pepsi. Was it Pepsi, wasn't it?
I bet you're right. I bet it's got nothing to do with sugar. In other words, that's what I mean. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. I think.
Well, it can't be. There's no sugar in it.
But I think the sweeteners themselves are causing fucking problems.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And I have a lot of fucking artificial sweeteners.
When do you have artificial sweeteners?
Well, I have sweet low here.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way,
I don't eat any of that shit. I really don't. I can't stand the taste of fucking fake sugar. I hate it.
But stevia, though, stevia has not been linked to anything.
Like
as a plant.
You brought in that cheesecake with no sugar. She loves it. To me, all I taste is a fake sugar.
But stevia doesn't have an acid.
Stevia is actually organic, isn't it?
I hate it. A stevia is actual sugar cane, right?
Something like that. It is a plant of some sort.
Stone and other
It comes from scorpions.
But they're healthy scorpions.
quartz and other natural stones. You can see them all at their.
Where did you see that article about California? Most Californians want weed.
Does business. It starts out with a phone call. Then you can visit.
Oh, this is curious. I got to think about this. What's that? Wow. What? They're saying, they told me how much they'll give me for the car. Take us off for a second. This is going to blow your fucking
You visit the showroom, pick out what you want, and he'll get you a specific price that will not change. Serving Denver Metro and the entire mountain communities, they do beautiful work, and it's a 1 to 4 week turnaround. Whatever you do in the kitchen, they do in the bathroom free. They tear out and haul away your old kitchen and your old bath free. artofgranite.net. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919.
A long drive or the winning drive wins the gold medal. And your morning drive, Ross Kaminsky.
Always listen to him on the way into work.
It's a good start.
Mornings 5 to 10 on 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Well, I won't give up on us.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Now, Chris, what's happening? What's going on, Chris?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing all right. What's going on with you?
So recently, I took my truck in for an oil change, and they found an oil leak, and they ended up having to put a dye or whatever. So they drove it around, and the service tech's driving and actually wrecked my truck.
Oh, man. Golly. That was a permissive driver.
Yeah.
So your insurance covers it, but I would certainly insist they take care of any inconvenience at all, not covered by, like your deductible and all of that.
Yes. And that's exactly what I was told. They said, I notified my insurance.
But also, what about, but here's the deal. If that causes any kind of a surcharge in the future, man, that is a problem.
Exactly, and I thought that too.
Is it going to cause an increase in rate?
So my insurance said no, it will not, because their insurance is handling it.
Wait, Chris. I thought you just said you're putting it through your insurance.
No, I'm not. No, not. My insurance will not be handling it. No,
oh, good. Then that's all perfect. Good.
Yes. The only problem I'm having with them is the only way they even talk to me is if I contact them. Like they.
Well, here's the other thing. Hold on. Here's another thing. Was it substantial damage?
It was about $4,900.
Well, hold on. What year is this truck?
17.
Well, what about, it's a 2017. What kind?
Nissan Titan.
Did it... You may have diminished value.
Yes.
Dang it, I heard that word, but I wasn't paying attention because I'm dealing with diminished value on this email. What did he say? Please, I'm sorry.
It's just a 17 Nissan that was wrecked by his service mechanic driving it.
There is we saw that. That's the one I'm reading. I am telling you, there is a definite diminished value in that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have $4,900 worth of stuff. What got wrecked on it?
So the whole front end has to be practically
okay, that's going to affect resale value. Did they say anything about diminished value?
Yeah, I brought that up because of...
and what did they say?
Corporate office. They said their corporate office contacted me. They just contacted me yesterday for the very first time.
And I know what they're going to say. We don't recognize it. I don't know. What do they say?
They told me that after the vehicle's completely repaired, they'll send an appraiser out.
Okay, good. Good.
Here's what you got to do.
No. The appraiser, though, has to take into consideration the marketability, not just how it's repaired.
That's right.
But at least they're not saying they'll deny it.
No, here's what they're going to do. Most of these insurance companies have this weird calculation they use. It's all mumbo-jumbo. You don't go with that. You've got to actually go down. If it's a Dodge, for example, go to Colorado Springs Dodge. Bring the Carfax with you. How much will you give me on a trade-in? They'll give you a number. If it didn't have severe accident damage on the Carfax, how much would you give me? You'll be surprised. It's shocking. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. That's your evidence when they come back with, like, $600.
Jacob, do you pamper this truck?
I do. I mean, I honestly literally just bought it last month. And for this to happen...
I'm sorry, Chris. I said Jacob. I'm looking at the wrong line. Chris, are you pissed off? Man, I would be pissed off.
Extremely. I was extremely mad. Like, I wanted to yell when this...
How many miles on it?
15,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Did it cause you to miss work or other issues?
So I did end up, because I gave me a loaner truck, and a week later they told me the loaner truck I'm currently using is supposed to be put on the used lot. So
well, tell them to go... Well, what are they going to give you?
They gave me a different loaner truck.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. You know what? But, man, Chris, you got to stay with us through this case to make sure you're treated fairly.
And I'd make sure you chose a body shop.
You stick around. I mean, you make sure that you have a number. Let's see, I can just tell you, 303 Martino will get you right through. And then but you got to reference this call.
So many people have no idea their vehicle went down in value after someone else hit them until they trade it in or sell it, and it's way too late. Diminished value is huge.
It is. And remember, with your own policy, you normally waive it.
We had a guy, real quick, just the other day, he wanted to turn it into his own insurance just to make it quicker to get the replacement. I said, your own insurance won't give you the diminished value. You're going to screw yourself. You need to go after the other guy's insurance.
Right. Now, you can do a combination thereof. You could go after your insurance for the ease of the collision coverage. They're going to subrogate anyway. But then you go after diminished value directly from the other company or the other person. You don't even have to go after their company. 303-713-TALK. We have lines open. I'll only give that number out when we have lines open. And we can take Jacob. Jacob, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. I just need some advice.
All right.
My father was in a car accident like maybe a week or two ago.
Okay.
When the snow hit, I guess, and he was driving, and I guess a guy went through the stop sign because he couldn't stop, and he hit my dad. And long story short, my dad's not getting any contact from his insurance company or from my dad's insurance company. What should he do?
Well, wait. Why not your dad's? Why not his own insurance? Why is his own insurance ignoring him?
I'm not sure. Like, he's left messages, callback numbers, and everything.
Okay, first things first. First things first. Was there a report?
Yeah, there was a police report.
Okay. Does he have a copy of it?
I believe so.
Whose fault? Whose fault, Jacob?
It was the other drivers.
Now, what insurance did the other driver have?
That I'm not sure.
All right, here's the deal. Okay, Jacob, what's your father's name?
Nasario.
Nasario is not going to screw around with the other insurance company at all. He doesn't have to. Nasario needs to simply protect himself. So he needs to get an estimate for repairs, okay?
Okay.
He from about 3 shops I would get. I would also then, did he contact his own insurance company?
Yes, he did.
Does he have
called back or nothing?
Does he have collision coverage?
No, I believe it's liability only.
Then it doesn't matter.
It's an older vehicle.
Then he doesn't. Then what? Why bother contacting his own insurance company? They're not going to do anything for him. Why did he even bother?
I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
I told him to contact the other insurance company first because they should be the ones to.
Well, no, you contact the other party. But I think that now, who is your father's insurance?
I believe he's with Progressive.
And who's the other party? Do you know? You don't know yet, right? Okay. So
no, I don't know.
Here's what I would do. He has the police report. I would file a small claim against the other individual directly. He'll probably never get to court, but you do it. File a small claim directly against the other party for all of his damages. That other party will either have to show up or get a judgment, but that other party will then contact their insurance company. It's not it's not Nasario's job to contact the other insurance company. He doesn't have a contract with them.
Right, okay.
So I know that sounds like a lot of work, but truly that's what he needs to do. If he's not hearing from anyone, he has to do it. Have that person served with a lawsuit. Now,
okay, so
where was he hit, Chris?
Jacob?
I'm sorry, now I got the other one. Jacob, where was Nasario hit? Like, was he hit from the rear, the side, or what?
It was in the front passenger side.
Okay, does Nasario have damages, like injuries?
No personal injury, but the vehicle is pretty smashed up.
What's the value of the vehicle?
Like I said, it's an older one. It's a 98.
Okay, so
Blazer,
it's totaled, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Then don't get estimates. He needs to get a total value of that vehicle, and he needs to sue the other party. And most likely, it will be under $7,500, so he can go to small claims court.
Yeah, it will be definitely.
Get started, man. Get started on it almost immediately, please. He can even sue for rental cars, even if he doesn't get a rental car. It's a loss. It is a real loss. And I urge him to do it immediately and stay in touch with us.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Scheduled on the same day. Channel 9 and S.
Yeah,
you weren't on my TV. Oh, you were both. I didn't see you.
Yeah, we both were. All 3
Please
seconds.
watch out for the
So
high country drive.
yeah, you know that Kurt Rogers sold the, I think the 60-second commercial that we did.
What's 60 seconds?
Remember that you and I did? Yeah. He saw that. It's playing now on Channel Fox 31. He loved it.
This is remarkable.
He loved it.
Doesn't he sell the same?
Tell me this isn't.
I think you should go get estimates and say,
Well, he used to. For me,
my car's not worth that much. But no,
I found this at McDonald's. No, listen, at McDonald's, they got a 2016.
From a dog accidentally flooding a living room to a dog.
It's not this one. Now, we'll come back to this. I wanted to wait for a break, a clean break.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Accident of Colorado. If you have hail damage or dings, you don't have paint damage, take it to Nick and the boys at FlexitEndofColorado.com. They are the best at what they do. They have so many years of experience. They will actually give up to $500 off for big jobs. And, of course, they are cheaper, better, and faster. 303-619-6273, 619-6273, FlexitEndofColorado.com.
You know what I can do? I just thought of something. I just bought snow tires for it. I'm going to pop them the $400 for the snow tires.
Aren't you going to get the same car?
Put that on pause again. Listen, this is...
You can't take the
The 16K a day giveaway on 630 KHOW.
I want you to get genuine stem cell therapy if you're thinking about avoiding surgery, because it is an alternative to surgery, and Centeno Schultz has been treating people for years. They can fix ACL tears, for example, with a needle instead of a knife. You've heard me talk a lot about stem cells, and I urge you to go to medical doctors who really know what they're doing, that harvest stem cells on site. So if you're ever at a clinic where they say they're shipping them in, it's phony. You cannot get living stem cells from amniotic...
I'm telling you, I can't get upside down in these. If you put a gun to my head, I probably couldn't go upside down.
You're yearly, Mark. I'm buying my kids Hyundais, brand new Hyundais when they turn 16.
That's the only way. It's the safety features on this. If someone's next to her, it barks and it does all that shit. It
barks.
It goes.
It would be nice if you could select your own warning signs. That would be cool.
But you said there's a used one for 23.
It was a Tucson. It's a Tucson.
Oh, okay.
I screwed that up.
Different.
No, it's not different because a brand new one's 21.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You're still going about it.
I saw in here. I was helping this lady look for a car. A brand new Tucson is $21,000 and change. She's looking at a used one that's 2 years old for $23,000.
Okay, are we getting through to any of these people that call us for these clunkers?
Slowly, but here's what they think. These people show up at these dealerships where they'll show a price. Well, that price includes if you're military, if you've owned one before, if you're going to finance through them. They don't realize that price they see online is $7,000, $8,000 in discounts. So when they show up, they realize it doesn't include dealer handling. But they all do that. You need to be able to... There's no one I know that qualifies for every rebate they show in the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen.
I'm part of the Pro Auto Care family.
But this is fucking incredible. I'm so happy right now. Well, it turns into an issue when
Ken says he knows of no discussions that anyone made that he knows of any pro auto.
Now you got to say nothing bad about American Family.
This is American Family.
I know, you can't say bad stuff about them.
You know what? I don't think I can either. I got to say, at least in my circumstance, they were extremely quick and fair.
You know what Bezos said? He always had one eye on another city.
What's the city?
Get it? It's a joke. Bezos says he always had one eye on another city. Ah, man, think about it. The owner.
Yeah.
He always had an eye on another city.
I'm just looking
show him the photograph.
To be real, to tell you though, I'm looking at you like you're stupid, but I honestly have no idea what he's talking about.
You don't. You really don't.
I have no fun. Do you guys?
No. Bezos. He looks like this, and one eye goes over here.
Oh, I didn't know that. He has a lazy eye.
No, it's not lazy. It's scary.
He won't call lazy eye though.
He is scary.
I didn't know that.
Suzanne got so mad at me one time when one of her sister's kids has one, and I said, "Get his eye checked out." She goes, "He plays video games all the time. He doesn't want to have the patch on." I said, "What? Are you crazy?" And apparently, I hurt everybody's fucking feelings.
Hello, we got a line open, 303-713-TALK. Joining me today, Joe Chiano and Jordan Chiano. We know them as Become the Banker. .info, Become the Banker. They're on our referral list because we promote this investment as a safe, conservative investment, appropriate for just about anyone. That doesn't mean everyone should have it, but I don't see where it could hurt people. It's just basically the concept that we promote is very safe and sound, and I particularly ask people to call if they have any concerns. I get emails from time to time, and frankly, I don't want to answer each and every email about it, although I feel when I represent a product, I should be willing to defend it, and I am. And again, we are open and transparent about this product. Become the Banker. Infinite Banking or whatever, that was a name given to it by somebody in a marketing ploy, and there's different marketing names given to it. The concept, when done properly, is overfunding a whole life insurance policy. Not really investing in the policy, but overfunding it on purpose. You purposely pay more premium than you need to for the cost of insurance, because the extra money is used by the insurance company to fund other life insurance and to pay losses and to invest. And they, in turn, pay you a dividend and a return that's guaranteed. It's tax-free until you disperse it, unless you disperse it the right way. Then you never pay tax. So the entire process, Joe and his son have taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to do it. Basically get a life insurance policy. And I'm doing it on my kids if they ever get back to me. They're so busy. You see, they're not a hard sell. I said I want one on each of my kids, and I want one on... you know why, Mark? You put a lump sum down for my kids. It's going to grow tax-free for their college. And now I can even use it along the way and then use it like a credit card and then pay it back extra on purpose. But, man, I can't find any other... I looked for college funds. It's better than a Roth, in my opinion, because it makes a better return.
Well, the problem with the Roths in general is you can only put so much in them, and a lot of people can't put anything in them.
That's right, and this doesn't limit me to what I can put in it. But the other thing is, with the Roth, you have to use it for education. So if I...
That's not correct.
Not the Roth. Wait, I thought the Roth was education only. No, which was the one that was education? 529?
Plan.
Okay, they don't do that anymore, do they? They're worthless to me.
They are worthless. You know, they're not effective.
Okay, on the Roth, then I was a mistake. Sorry, I meant 521, 529. But on the Roth, what's the limit you can put in? I don't think I can put any in.
If you make, this is approximate, but if you make over, I think, $140,000, you can't put a nickel in. Beyond that, the most you can put in, I believe, is $5,500 a year.
It is $5,500 a year.
But if you make over 140, you can't even use it.
And what are the returns on those Roths usually?
That's how you trade it. I mean, my Roth, when I used to be able to do one, I made pretty good money. I got
but Mark, you know, not a lot of people babysit their own Roth.
That's true.
I mean, come on. Okay,
Tom, it deals with the stock market. Okay, so the money in the Roth will have to be invested with mutual funds. So they're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. That become the banker strategy with a whole life.
4%
guarantee 4%
for 125 years. And then the what else? The dividend is
they're all
1%.
tax-free.
Yeah. All right, let's go to
the biggest problem with his product is people don't understand it. Those seminars are well worth going to.
Yeah, they really are. Whether you end up getting it or not, it's a great thing to do, and you can find out more, becomethebanker.info. Let's go. If you have any questions, give us a call. We're going to talk to him some more. Moose, what's happening, Moose?
Hello, Tom. I want to let you know, how are you? I'm in Pueblo, and one of these days I would like to be a common man.
Oh, I would love to have you come up. I was just down in your, well, not your area, I was down in the Springs and gave a talk at Fort Carson to few hundred soldiers. Great area. Listen, Moose, what's going on with the text?
Okay, what's going on is I get SSDI. I just started receiving it back, I don't know, maybe 6 months.
How old are you?
I'm 56.
Okay, what's your injury? I'm just curious.
I've several. I jumped off a 3-story house one night and broke my back in 5 places. And
you jumped off a 3-story house one night.
Why the hell would you do that?
Because her parents came home.
My God! Moose, what's your problem, man?
But anyway, chronic pancreatitis is another thing, but that's neither here nor there. My problem is I've been getting a text. I've gotten them twice. And they want all my information saying that due to the government shutdown, they need all this information to make sure that my SSDI benefits don't get interrupted.
Yeah, well, first of all, no one ever contacts you with that, so it's phony.
Yeah, that's what I thought exactly. I've listened to you since like 84.
Do you have a phone number attached to that?
To attach to what?
The text.
No, I don't.
How does it come through as a text without you having a number associated with it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it did have a number. I started to fill it out. They wanted my name, my first name, my middle initial, last name. They wanted, when it got started to, and I
Wait. What else do they want, Moose?
Well, got my birth date, all that. And then they wanted my social security number.
No way.
Yeah. And I thought, well, if this is social security, you know, why would they need my number?
Right.
I'm sending me
You know
mine.
what, man? This is a scam, and thank you for warning us on it. Really, Moose, thank you very much. Melinda, what's happening?
Hi.
Hi, Melinda. What's going on with you?
So currently, at the moment, I have been kicked out of my own home with my 3 children. My husband and I are going through a divorce, and he put a restraining order on me, and I am not...
Hold on. Did he get a restraining order on the kids?
No, just myself, but
Okay.
he's not legally their father. He was their stepfather for 8 years.
Okay. So you were married for 8 years.
Well, we were together for 8 years, basically married for, it would be 5 in July.
Okay. Now, what happened?
Well, do you want the full backstory?
Just, I want as brief, and then I'll fill in the gaps. Like, you were married for 8 years. How long ago did you start having trouble?
Well, this is technically the second time. November, he said he wanted to leave. Early November, he wanted to leave. I could have everything. He just wanted to be happy and go. And I said, that's fine. Like, let's do this.
How old are you, Melinda?
I'm 31.
How old is he?
He is 27.
Okay. So, what happened then?
We separated. He moved out willingly on November 5th. I tried to do everything proper, wrote up our divorce agreements, got it signed and notarized with both of us. I had a mental breakdown because he traumatized me in the past. I'm legitimately in PTSD therapy.
Well, that's it's a tough thing, man. This whole thing is a tough thing. How old are your kids?
14, 13, and 11.
Okay, so you did you call off the divorce, or did he come back?
No, he ended up, I got sent to the hospital because I had a traumatic break. He used that against me, saying that I am mentally unstable, and I put him in a chokehold and I punched him, which I never did, and he was granted the protection order.
And when was he granted that?
January 9th.
And was that what's called ex parte, meaning without your participation?
Yes, he went, actually, he
That's
was
only
on the
temporary.
phone.
You can't get a permanent one without somebody. So now it goes to a permanent one, and then you can fight it. But anyway, you were this was January 9th, and how long is it good for?
Well, we still are going through. We haven't done the permanent orders because the judge in Arapahoe County wanted him to be served with the divorce paperwork in Jefferson County, and he was dodging the paperwork. I finally worked with the deputy trying to serve him, letting him know on February 5th we had another hearing for the protection order. He served my husband in front of my attorney, and so the judge immediately said, let's consolidate it with Jefferson County.
Gotcha.
Well, he got upset about that because he said to my attorney he doesn't want to be divorced, but he wants to go forward with the permanent restraining order.
Well, I don't understand. He doesn't want to be divorced, but he wants you to leave him alone forever.
Exactly, and he wanted the divorce in the first place.
Okay, so where does it stand right now? Do you have a hearing set up for the permanent restraining order?
February 25th with our first initial status conference, but on Monday morning he contacted my attorneys, which I have partially retained, and said, I'm moving back in between 12 and 3, and because of the restraining order, I am not allowed 100 yards near him, so that meant I had to vacate my home.
No, he's not allowed to approach you either. That's what's weird. It's not like he can chase you, so you didn't have to leave.
But my attorney said that if he showed up when I was there, I would have gotten arrested.
Actually, okay, you know what? Your attorney, I can't vouch for what your attorney told you. If he showed up and claimed you're the one that showed up, but if you're at home and that is the status and he disturbs the status quo, what happens when you're in a restaurant and he comes? You don't have to keep fleeing from him. Do you understand that? So you need to get an attorney who has your interest at heart. I can't argue with you. I can't. I'm not going to argue. So you left voluntarily. And so what happened then? Whose home is it? Whose home is it?
It's both of ours obtained after marriage. His name is in the title, but my name and his name are both.
It doesn't matter. You both got it when you were married.
Okay.
Is there equity in it?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, so he doesn't have any more right to that home than you do.
Right.
So I don't understand. Why did you leave? You could have called the sheriff's department and said, "Listen, I am honoring this restraining order, and he's threatening to come home."
I did. I went to the Jeffco sheriff, and the sheriff said that in his expertise that I don't have to leave, but whoever was called for that phone call would probably interpret it differently. It just
That's true. That's true. But anyway, you left. So where are you now?
I'm staying at a friend's, and all 3 of my children are spread out because nobody can take all 4 of us, and my parents
you need to get an emergency hearing before the divorce judge to have him ordered out of the house. It's because they will look at the children before they look at him. Hold on, all right? Just hold on, because you're not listening. You keep saying the same thing over and over. You get an emergency hearing for the children before the judge. It is the best interest of the children that comes first.
So true.
Have her hang on. She's got to get an emergency hearing for the betterment of because the children are in danger.
Tom, we'll have a Raleigh House 60 in 1 minute. Looking good back in town. Just seeing a little bit of slowing westbound by 70 in the elevated portion. Otherwise, the highway drive from Mile High Ski.
I don't know if Bonnie's around.
US 6 is closed once again in Clear Creek Canyon for rockfall mitigation. The weather forecast. Well, 20 seconds till your Raleigh House 60 spot. Chance of the rain-snow mix overnight and a low around 26. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in Denver.
And the reason why you the kids want to get a divorce is because of the money involved, the equity in the house.
Silver is here to remind
That's exactly what's happening.
Silver Hudson box full of chocolates for your Valentine. Don't forget, go.
You usually hear me talk about the Raleigh House and the information line they have for anyone touched by addiction. You can call 720-963-9201 and ask any question you want. But if you ever decide for treatment for your addiction or you recommend it to someone else, you have a choice of urban centers and rural settings and a wonderful program. The RaleighHouse.com. They have just opened up a new rural area with equine therapy. They have a beautiful country setting with private rooms. Call them for information about the Raleigh House itself or anything to do with addiction, like how to approach an addict. What do you do with an addict? What do you do? How do you know there is an addiction problem? What do you look for? How do you get them into the Raleigh House or another program? 720-963-9201. 720-963-9201. TheRaleighHouse.com.
At CDW, we get that you need a network to keep your business moving forward.
Us or not, backwards everything do we.
Either way,
okay.
is experts who can design and implement a secure, innovative network built on Cisco DNA that learns and adapts to your needs to keep your business moving forward.
Idea good, is that?
Stellar Paint, the orchestration by CDW. Why do I get people? I mean, people get it. Why do I get more at CDW.com?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many plans
What do you
nationwide,
need?
which could
Your
be
third hour.
pays for you.
Here it is.
So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy
Oh,
today.
you already did it for me. I was just marking that off for you. That's it.
Gotcha.
Do you remember where I put that payoff thing? Is it sitting right in
I
the
have it
kitchen?
sitting with your stack of mail you need to go through.
Well, I'm going to call Miles.
Right on it's right on the counter. It's the second to the last sheet, I think. It says Security Service Federal on it or something. I think he's at work.
Oh, he is this early?
I think he has to work 12 to 9. But Addie gets out at 12 or 12:30, so she can take a picture of it.
Tell her to text me as soon as she can.
Okay.
Hey, did you already leave for work, dude?
When you list your home.
Oh, go down in the kitchen real quick. I need you to take a picture of
Right
something and
next
text it
to the basket on the bar sink.
The basket on the bar sink. Tell me when you're down there.
Frank Duran, the real estate man, with Remax Alliance.
Are you heading down there now?
1622.
Are you there now?
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
It just takes 1 second, Miles.
Don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement.
It's a little cloudy.
It does.
There's one that says a
No
payoff
need
from
for a
security
sunglasses.
vessel for Addie's car. Mom says it's right next to the pass.
Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated. Gray is all the rage now, and we have a new line of cabinets called Greystone Shaker, which, just like all of our cabinets, are all wood boxes with hardwood fronts and no particle boards. But these have soft close drawers and doors, too. We've got Colorado's best prices on all the most popular cabinet colors, and 3 of them are in stock and ready for immediate pickup. Visit our showroom at 4800 Washington Street in Denver, or online at Buy and Build.
Man, I can't get over this. I'm like baffled by this. And I'm never baffled.
You're baffling.
And I just bought those snow tires. I just found the receipt for them.
Yeah, why won't you put them on the other tire, the car?
Your money, your retirement. Every Saturday on
Is this from?
You're going to kill this? I'm going to smack you up the head. Now, if they're brand new tires like that, they will usually reimburse you. I guess one could argue 10% wear. They're 3 months old, 2 months old.
Are they going? You're not going to take the car back.
I'm not buying the car back. What do you mean? Why would I buy it back?
They're going to go with the car. What are you talking about? The snow tires are on there, right?
Yeah.
They're doing.
No, I'll pay to have the other ones put back on. Well, I don't know. I'll look at them. I don't know. You know, I'm assuming same size. They must be. I'll tell you, a cute one is that little Kona. Oh my God, that is the cutest little 5-star rated SUV for a kid. It's under 20 grand. Who makes it? Hyundai. It is so fucking cute, man. It is just the cutest thing.
What is it called?
A Kona, K-O-N-A.
This is another thing. Nobody in Colorado should either all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. These people with these rear-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
They think what? With rear-wheel drive cars here in Colorado,
They're worthless.
They're worthless.
That Kona's a little nice little all-wheel drive SUV. Gorgeous, cute. And they come in, you know.
Anytime there's a snow, they hold up.
How the hell
do you
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
With the Equinox equal to this, the Equinox is 40.
Equinox is bigger. That'd be the Tucson, but the Tucson's only 23.
Are you sure the Equinox? Now, not the Traverse.
That Kona is like, man, it's
the Equinox is small, Mark.
Yeah, I know. It's more like it's called the Tucson.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. We have becomethebanker.info with us. We'll talk to them in a sec. Melinda, we have an attorney on to listen to this. This is Bonnie Shields, attorney at law. I want to lay this out in the interest of time. But Melinda had a restraining order put against her. Okay, Bonnie, she has three children, okay? And 14, 13, and 11. They were living in a joint home together, okay? Together. He left. He got a restraining order, but he left and got a restraining order months earlier, or in January, I'm sorry. Then, listen to what happened. He moved out and then wanted to move back in, so he comes back, and her attorney tells her she has to leave. She takes her 3 kids and are homeless. She's staying with a friend, and each kid is staying with another friend, and the husband, who is alone, is fat and happy in a joint home. Now, I don't understand this. I said, get an emergency hearing and say, look, my kids come first in this divorce. We should have the house. It was status quo. I don't know. Am I barking up the wrong tree, Bonnie?
No, but something's going on that's unusual. Usually, courts will leave the children. They want children to stay in the
home. Well, they were. And the guy was out. But then he said, I want to come back home. And she voluntarily left.
Oh, what does the protection order say? Does it say she has to be away from that house?
Yeah, well, no, away from him, not the house, right, Melinda?
Yeah, 100 yards away from him.
Okay, and is that a temporary protection order or permanent?
It's now, is it
temporary?
Temporary.
We have our hearing for the permanent on the 25th, as well as our initial status conference, and I filed an emergency motion for temporary orders, and the judge said it can wait till after the 25th on the initial status
Well,
conference.
then you did not say your kids are homeless in your...
I did.
Okay,
I did.
So you're telling me that a judge said, I don't care if your kids are homeless, you can wait.
Pretty much.
Now, I don't believe you. I'm sorry, Melinda. I don't believe you worded it properly. Bonnie, on what planet would a judge say, I don't care that the kids are homeless?
Arapahoe County?
No, Jefferson County, this one was.
Okay, there's a couple judges out there. I mean, I've had it happen in Arapahoe County in the last year that they consider child emergencies. It's got to be I haven't found a situation yet that they consider to be an emergency. That was just one particular judicial officer. Most of the time, I think most judges would consider that an emergency, that the kids are displaced. Where are you staying then?
Friends.
I'm friends, pretty much. My parents are not even 100 yards away from my own home, so I can't even stay with my family.
So why did you leave?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
My attorney told me, she said, the protection order states you cannot be 100 yards near anywhere he is. She said if
yeah, but that's Bonnie. But he's not allowed to just come and displace you. Do you understand that? Yep. So there's something we're not hearing. You give us a case number and we'll look it up. How about that? We need a case number. Melinda, other than that, you have to wait for your emergency hearing, and I would get a better attorney. I'm Tom Martina.
Suzanne, get her case number so Bonnie can get us some details. I want to hear the truth. And then Melinda needs to get another attorney. What do you do? You get another attorney.
She already retained this one, not at all.
So, if they don't, they get their money back.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, you buy now, or I needed this really.
No, we got one.
Thank you.
Is the solution worth considering?
You know, it's not like, you know, you don't get money back with an attorney.
Your Social Security, or
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have had attorneys that I give a retainer, then I don't follow through with it. They don't give it back. That's what I thought.
a retainer, no.
That's what I thought, but I don't know. Never done it. So I never have you got my money back.
Oh, so what is the definition of retainer? Retainer, I retain, but now you want your money back?
Yeah. Well, no, they use that up. That's what they'll say. They'll make up the hours. That's what happens.
You called me. That's it. Retaining money.
Here's my timesheet. That's exactly what they do.
I know every call you make to them is going to be automatic $100.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You talk for 1 minute.
More than that.
Almost 10 times cheaper than anywhere else.
Ridiculous. They're thieves.
Washington.
All of them.
303-295-6020.
Shakespeare said it best.
What?
Shakespeare said it best.
Oh, yeah.
Kill all the lawyers.
Yeah. Well, Suzanne, you forgot, huh, that I was actually going to be on Channel 9.
You know what, Joe? This is why. Because I was talking to you that day while doing the show,
got it.
which is a mistake, and I don't retain it.
I know. Don't worry about it.
So here I'm harassing your phone. I'm like, I know he said the 14th. I hope I didn't misunderstand.
Oh, no.
So
I definitely
and I'm harassing your lady who answers the phone. I'm like,
yeah.
is he there? We're expecting him. She didn't say. She's like, he's not here.
Oh, wow.
So sorry, guys.
No, don't worry.
We understand how it goes. We were very booked today. It's part of our
yeah.
I got Channel 9.
I'm just glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad I'm here, too.
Absolutely.
Are you looking at the Konas? Are you looking at getting a Kona?
No, I was just telling him about them. No, I'm not getting her.
Those things are cool looking.
She's getting that same car.
Is it Kona?
No.
K-O-N-A?
Hyundai Kona, they're cool looking, Joe.
What does that mean? Because that one beer company's Kona. Is that a place in Hawaii?
It's a Hawaiian name.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a Kona coffee.
Yep. Oh, that's right, for a Kona coffee.
I have Bonnie back. She's looking at the case. But Tommy, I just have to tell you, I don't say this to be against the girl. She got 3 sons, one by the first boyfriend, who she has a great relationship with.
Oh, you are judging.
Second by a rape. And then third by her first or second husband, who she gets along with just fine. You know, so I'm just saying, like, hot freaking mess.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bonnie's looking up the case right now. And the caller's going to tell you she can't afford a new attorney.
I am more of the humanitarian in our marriage.
You know what? I tell you, I would never tell a kid I was pregnant by a rape.
Mm-hmm. You're a rape baby.
Yeah, I would say that would be...
It's kind of bizarre. Well, who said she told the kid?
Well, she's telling us and stuff, so...
Are you saying that you think she's a little off-kilt?
I would never say that to her. Can you imagine those?
I mean, those are nice cars, really. I mean, I'm looking at them. They're not too bad.
Kona? Is it all-wheel drive?
horsepower.
Man, that is beautiful.
Little four-cylinder.
That's what you should get.
That's the base, 19.9, but
Adopt US Kids presents What
You
to
can give them
Expect
big
from
cash for that.
a teenager. Learning the
man,
lingo.
gets great match. My gas
Of course, four-cylinder.
Jelly is a shorter, better way to say gelatin.
Oh, I wonder how much power they have.
Not too wild, very small, and 147
Yeah.
to 175 horsepower. So
Just to get around the city, probably.
yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll do.
Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm happy with my Santa Fe. Let me tell you.
I'm happy with my car.
This report is sponsored by Russell
Right
Stover.
now, the biggest highway delay is
I'm
south
gonna
of
be
town.
putting
Got a
like
small vehicle south
170,000 out before I sell
Tom,
it.
1 minute, fix it 24/7, 30 spot. A little bit of delay. Other than that, that stretch of the Gap project looking good. Back in town, just seeing a little bit of slowing westbound I-70 in the elevated portion. Otherwise, the highway drive to Mile High City in good shape up in the highway.
God, what vehicles keep...
Once again in Clear Creek.
There's nothing out there like it.
it.
You know, the most upside down I've ever been?
So the corner.
We got over 6 of it.
That's badass.
Right now,
Dan,
I wonder what they call that. Oh, I guess they call that the...
I need to keep right out of the week over.
There's another one that's cute as hell Hyundai makes. The Ventura.
The Halo.
Is it says
Oh, that is a crossover. Oh, no, and Halo.
Russell Stover.
We got a
Make
7.
happy.
The Kona EV cross. That's a beautiful car, man. Jeez.
A little civil Lester. Like a Lester, but for Lester.
I lost everything. Absolutely everything. I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. I don't have any copy. I don't know what happened to it.
Look at the Lester.
All right. In fact, for some reason, I missed it completely. The $39 people call Fix It 24/7. For $39, they'll find any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains. That's it. And you can decide to have the work done or not. If you have the work done, you'll never get better value or parts or service, and they'll apply than $39. So you dictate exactly what you're going to pay. Never more than $39 unless you want to have repairs done. You may not need them. They'll find the problem, track it down, and let you know. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
A good turn cycles we love electric bikes because they make
I tell you, these Hyundais are looking good.
God, I know. They're just wonderful.
The other one that would be cute is the Velester. Like
The molester.
Why they call it the molester, I don't know, but it's called the Velester.
Hey, look at it in white. Look, it's a nice one.
Yikes.
I like that picture. Actually, I'd never buy one. I like this color. Look at that little twin exhaust. Isn't that cute?
Psychotherapist.
Compared to anything.
Just the way that you actually spell it, right? Psycho,
They're rated for this with the all
psychotherapist.
SUV. They'll have 4 SUV
Isn't that amazing?
crossovers. Yep, they'll have the Kona, the Tucson, Santa Fe, and then whatever this big Bohemian.
It's supposed to be one word. Yeah?
Let
it up.
For 2020 Hyundai SUV.
9201.
Next. Pull up a regular picture of liquid.
Why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment?
I don't even know if that's the one I'm thinking about. I don't even know what. Oh, that's hydrogen. I don't think it is the next section. There must be another one. This must be. That's one I've never heard of.
I didn't see that. When you're the one separate from adults and confidence, you can get the products you need when you need them without
Yeah, but no, I'm sure that's just one option.
your door. Aeroflow Urology. Aeroflow helps you or your loved one qualify for incontinence products through Medicaid at no cost, and then ships those
No,
products
there's
to
a
your
name to
door.
it. I can't
You're
think.
struggling with
I'm sure it's the next one, but what I'm saying is the hydrogen.
Here it is. No, it's the Palisade.
Bladder control pads.
Yep. Look at the size of that. Look at that fucking
With you, your doctor,
Oh,
and Medicaid
it's a behemoth,
find
man.
the best products for your needs. and we'll help you
Three-row
qualify for
SUV.
products at no
What's a
cost.
big,
Alexis from Lincoln says, I got
Ford
my
one.
Chevette
It's a
so
sizable
easy.
beast.
Aeroflow made it so easy and kept me informed of
It's on
everything.
par with the Traverse and the Ford Explorer.
Call Aeroflow now and
Yeah, it's coming out next year. It's called the Palisade. They're basically doing what Chevy said they're doing. They're getting rid of everything's going to be either a crossover or SUV. No more cars. Although I don't think they'll get rid of the Elantra.
461-3906. Again, 800-461-3906.
Well, the Genesis SUV is going to be my next one.
You know what? How big that gas tank is?
Twin turbo.
And that next one, 41 gallons.
Oh,
I know, 41 gallons.
What do you think it gets? Does it say?
It doesn't say here.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. We love doing what we do. I love helping people. And we have all kinds of problems that come through our desk. And we'll talk about it. You can join us every day live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live on all of our radio stations, KHOW, our flagship in Denver. We have special topics today on safe investing and financial advisement surrounding the real way to do life insurance. In fact, the only way I would do it. This divorce case has us baffled. Melinda has 3 kids. And Melinda had a rocky marriage. The husband left. And then he filed for a restraining order. And basically, after getting the restraining order, he goes back to the house. He says, I'm going back to the house. Now, this is a joint home acquired during the marriage by both of them. And he says, I'm going back home, and you have to leave. So he made her take the 3 kids, not his kids, the 3 kids, the stepchildren, and leave. Now they're basically homeless. She's staying with a friend. The 3 kids are staying in 3 separate houses. And I can't believe that her attorney advised her to do it. Because that was status quo, it's called. And he came home and upset it. She left voluntarily. Now that she left, it might be difficult, if not impossible, to go back. She's going to get an emergency, well, not an emergency hearing. She has a regular status hearing coming up on March 5th or whatever, or February 25th, I'm sorry. The whole thing is just screwy. Bonnie, I just don't see how a judge ruled that it's okay for him to go home and displace all of them.
Yeah, I did read it.
Oh, you did? Okay, because I want to bring her up, because I just don't understand why she's behind the 8 ball. Go ahead.
So it looks like she doesn't have an attorney that's entered their appearance yet, but it looks like somebody's name is written on one of the documents. It looks like maybe she's in the process of hiring somebody, and they're...
Melinda, did you hire anyone yet?
I don't have the full amount of money for the retainer. I only put half down, so it's basically like they're giving me legal counsel.
How much did you put down?
I put $3,100 down, but they need an additional $5,000 for full retainer, and I have even called around, and all attorneys are the same.
I don't know, Bonnie, under on normal circumstances, what is your retainer normally?
It's usually $4,000, and I am not the most expensive, and I'm certainly not the cheapest person in town.
That sounds outrageously expensive. Melinda, I'm not telling you what to do, but you have a right to get every dime back that hasn't been used.
I've had to just apply another $615 because I ran out of that retainer.
That attorney spent $3,100 already doing what?
My husband actually was the reason why, because he would pretend to be in communication with them, say, yeah, let's do this, and then when it would come close to the court date, just not respond to the attorney. So he basically wasted what retainer I had.
There's more to it than that. What's the hourly rate?
For my attorney, I have both. I have the owner; she's $265 an hour, and then the one that I have is $165 an hour.
Yeah, but they don't both work at the same exact time.
And have they
both showed up at my temporary order hearing.
They both showed up,
but for the price of one.
Oh,
she said.
Okay.
You haven't had a temporary orders hearing.
I've had 2 technically, but it got continued both times. The first time the judge in Arapahoe said he hasn't been served, and it was been like a week, So she knew he was dodging. She wanted me to get an attorney for that case. She decided to continue it for 2 weeks. Then for that past 2 weeks, he still wouldn't get served. So I worked with the deputy, and the deputy came to the courthouse and served him in front of my attorney.
Okay, I want to ask you something, Melinda. Is your husband represented?
Kind of like I am, but his attorney is very aggressive. And the judge in Arapahoe.
Hold on. I was told this was a Jefferson County case.
Yes.
It is. He filed in Arapahoe for the protection order. I filed the dissolution of marriage in Jefferson County.
Was the protection order moved to Jeffco?
It will be consolidated. I had to get the affidavit of service, which was being mailed to my house.
So it's going to be consolidated, and your hearing is the 25th.
That is correct.
It's an initial status conference, and in Jefferson County, an initial status conference in a case where it was filed by a party and not by an attorney, it's a court administrator. It's not a judge. It's not a magistrate.
We do have the temporary protection order an hour prior to our initial status conference.
Okay, which would...
Can she make a plea at that hearing that she have the house, or is that at the divorce hearing?
It's probably going to need to be in the proceedings that have to do with the divorce. I'd certainly bring it up. So...
Do you do criminal? Ever?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay. So you couldn't do I'm not saying you would do this one, but you don't do restraining orders at all?
Oh, yes, I do restraining.
All right. So if they're connected with the divorce, you theoretically could do both.
Oh, yes. And you
So you don't have a dime. Right now, you had to apply more money, Melinda, so you don't have a dime.
I have no money whatsoever.
Okay. So how will you pay these attorneys?
I don't know.
So when you show up at this hearing, it'll be free. You'll be alone.
Pretty much, if I don't have any more money.
You got a problem, sister. You got a, and if your parents don't help you, I'm serious.
Nobody can help me.
You know, there is a thing, Bonnie. I don't care what you say. I'm not saying Bonnie's. No, forget legal aid. And I'm not saying Bonnie's disagreeing with me. But Bonnie, there are people, if this woman truly owns part of this, I mean, they acquired it during the marriage, and there's equity, and there's a divorce. Can't an attorney put a lien on the divorce?
That's a really squishy subject.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it done.
It can happen, but I would never even think about it because you can really get sanctioned if you do things the wrong way there. So it's not something I would even ever consider doing. But I can tell you that I just can't figure out how they've gone through 3,000 already, but if there was also a case in Arapahoe and there's been hearings there, then I can understand.
Were they handling the restraining order too, Melinda?
Yeah, that's the whole reason for the first retainer was to handle the restraining order.
Okay, all right.
Okay, because the hourly rate is very reasonable.
Yeah. Listen, Melinda, you need to do. Melinda, you need to get money for an attorney. I don't know what to tell people when they don't have money for an attorney. Bonnie, what happens when she goes there? Can she say to the judge, "I absolutely have no money"? I mean, and the judge, would he appoint an attorney, or would he make the husband pay?
They can't. I really doubt if they'd make husband pay.
I've seen that before. What do you mean they wouldn't make a husband pay?
For protection order?
No, for the divorce part.
For the divorce. Okay, for the divorce part, does he make a lot more money than you do?
Yeah, I barely make anything.
What does he do for a living?
He is a grocery foreman for King Soopers.
So he's not making a hell.
He's making 19 and I make 14.
What do you think he makes?
19, she makes 14. They're both...
Okay.
Yeah.
When one person makes a whole lot more than the other, there's a statute and case law where you can actually ask a court. It would have to be at your temporary orders hearing, and you don't even have one of those set yet.
Right.
It'd have to be there. There's a case that you can ask for prospective fees you haven't done yet, so everyone's on an even playing field. Does he have an attorney?
Yeah, but kind of like half-assed. Like he's paying as he goes, just like she was.
So here's what I see is on the case right now they're scheduled this initial status conference. All that's going to happen to that in Jefferson County is they're going to ask you if you've done your when you're going to get your financial documents in, if you haven't already filed them. And I can't.
What does he want, Melinda? What does he want? I mean, you'll give him a divorce. Does he want the house? Does he think in some planet he's going to get the house all by himself?
Originally, he said, I even have it on record, he said, you can have 100% of the home
That doesn't
sale.
matter. That's not an agreement, really.
But now
I mean,
he wants 50% of the house.
okay,
I don't want to bend.
but you don't want a what?
I don't want to bend to him. I'd rather a judge give it to
Melinda,
me.
you're not going to get the whole house.
You share it. It's 50-50.
I know, but I don't want to agree to him, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, then you don't have the money not to. If he's willing to do half, if he would mediate this, you need to do that.
That's fine. I just need him to stop. I will give him half.
It's not that you're giving him half. You're not demanding the whole. You're not giving him anything.
No, right now it's just how he's treating me is so unfair. He's continuously abusing me while I'm not even around.
You've got to remember, and it's really hard, but how the court's going to divide the property has nothing to do with behavior.
Right.
I know.
Here's what you need to do is at that status conference on the 25th, that person has no power, except they do have the power to help you get a hearing set up, a temporary orders hearing, and that's the hearing you can go to. And I think under the circumstances, I know this particular judicial officer that you have, and I'm not sure why he denied your motion. That I don't know.
Because it wasn't presented properly, that's why. Let's face it.
No, there was some pretty good language in there. She did it herself. It was kind of short and to the point, but she did say that her and her 3 children were going to be displaced. She did say that. So, but anyway, I think there's a good chance that he'll put you back in that house. You just need to get that hearing, and you need to get it set as soon as possible.
Well, can't she just skip this other thing that's coming up and go right?
It's mandatory. There's ways to get out of it, but you won't have to have
she's going to go to this mandatory conference on the 25th.
Yes. And
that's 9 days from now, or 10 days from now, then what?
Then they'll give her a hearing date for temporary order.
And that could be another 10 days?
I don't know, Tom. I don't even know if they'll get it in that fast.
It could be 2 months.
Probably not that long. I would guess in Jeff Co within a month or so, but it's going to depend on that judicial officer's calendar. So, but he's and
at that conference, could you make a could you make a plea for a very, very quick conference because they're displaced? Or do you think, Melinda, he would ever agree to leave the house ever?
If I paid half.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He did try to tell my attorney, he goes, well, if she pays half the mortgage, then I will let her stay, but I'm already paying like the water bill, the trash bill, and the internet bill.
You guys are hopeless. It's just hopeless. I don't know what to say. Melinda, honest to God, Melinda, you gotta, you show up at that conference and you beg for a hearing as soon as possible.
One way to get it a little bit sooner, when they ask you how long you need, if you're not going to have attorneys there, you guys can probably go pretty fast, and you don't have kid issues. Just ask for a 1-hour hearing.
Do you know, would you, are we allowed to contact that husband and just say, we'd like to talk to you, and see if he would go for mediation and just drop all this stuff?
I bet he's got a completely different story.
I guarantee he does, even though he's
I understand that, but what if you just forget about the past period and say, look, it's going to be what it's going to be. It doesn't matter what you think. It's what it's going to be. She's not going to get the whole house. You're not going to get the whole house. She can't pay for half right now. You can. I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. She's got 3 kids. They're not yours, but she still has 3 kids. I mean, Mark, I'll bet you could talk, or we could talk to him and say, look, man,
I'd love to talk to him. I just have a feeling there is a...
But so what? Tell me what would change anything as far as the facts.
She stabbed him.
Okay.
I don't know.
How would that change the ownership and what they should do? Exactly. Going forward, what would be, going forward with mediation, what would ever?
I just think he's probably just as upset as her, and they're not going to mediate.
But I'm thinking if he would just agree to mediate it, and that you're not going to fight to try to get the whole house.
Give me his info. I'll call him.
Let's just try to contact him, Melinda.
It'll save them both a lot of money.
But we're not contacting him because Melinda asked us to, and I'll tell you why. Because in a restraining order, she can't reach out through a third party. We're not reaching out for Melinda. We are reaching out for public service. We are. She never asked us to reach out. Never. She never asked us to. I would like to get his information and just contact him and see if he'd mediate. 303-713-8255.
Well, that's a fine line. You just brought that up. No, she's not going to say, how did we get his information? We're not asking.
She never asked us for anything. We think she's just as unreasonable.
To sell the house and split the equity.
Well, she says I even said I'll give her half now.
Right. The divorce is going to do that.
Something went down, man. She was having an affair. Something.
Oh, I don't.
Jesus, I mean, my God.
But nothing.
It has nothing to do with what
You're
we're
right.
talking about. I'm just saying there's something. There's a whole other side to this.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now, mostly cloudy in Denver, and we're sitting at.
I can't realize
he filed a restraining.
They're not even his kids. Not even one of them,
He
right?
filed a restraining order on her, right? Because she hit him.
So
She says
she tried to tune him up.
Yeah. No, she said she didn't.
It doesn't matter
when it comes to the equity.
or mediation or anything. People let anger ruin them. I know a couple personally who ate up every penny of $150,000 in equity. They had zero when they were done, except anger. That's all they had.
And they're probably still pissed.
That's what happened to me. Sure. I mean, I spent a lot of money.
There was anger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That's one thing that has never
I would
happened.
mediate.
Do you think she would?
No, you know, we tried to mediate in my own personal case, but I was so upset.
So it was
and
you
so
more than her.
Yeah, that I didn't want to mediate. Really.
Yeah, but until you're past that, you don't even get it.
I know that.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
That's the problem. Right now, I wish that I would have done it. I would have saved a lot of money.
But she must have done something when the cop showed up.
Of course.
So he's got hand. He does. He has hand right.
Or is the first
Whoever's in the fucking house has the hand, no matter how you look at
Her
it.
attorney,
If you leave the house,
her attorney gave her.
And he's going to have to use it.
That's
$3,000.
She could have changed the
She's
locks
got
on
hand.
those
No,
doors.
he's got hand.
She could have changed, Martin. She could have changed the locks, and there's that son of a bitch shows up, starts rattling. She calls the police.
That's right.
I'm in the house with my
That
kids.
is right.
He won't let me alone. He would have gotten in so much trouble.
I had a guy, I had a friend of mine that actually, you know, he had a restraining order put on him, right? And his wife came to do something at the house, and he had a baseball bat, and he hit himself on the head, right? It started bleeding, you know, and then he called
He
the
did
cops.
it himself?
Yeah, and then he called the cops, and they took her away, man.
When cops are called, somebody goes to jail.
Because
How about this,
if they have blood coming out.
Who's the actor
That's
that
it.
fucking, it looks like it was all phony?
Solid.
With the noose?
Yeah.
He showed up with the noose and the fucking sandwich? They're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that whole thing was phony baloney.
What's that? What are you talking about?
The black actor
Yeah.
that said the mega
Yeah,
hat,
black gay,
white
black
kids came after him with the fucking noose and
That's
everything.
right.
He didn't say white kids. He
No,
said
no,
two
white
men.
guys.
Men.
So who said it's fake now?
Like everybody.
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 They're afraid to say.
There's no video, there's nothing.
But he had a sandwich in his hand and a noose around his neck, and he never dropped
He
his
had a Subway
sandwich
sandwich
after
in perfect
getting bitten.
He never took the noose off till the cops came.
He kept it on.
He kept it on till the cops came.
So
He loved it. He was falling in love with it.
what was his
You know,
name?
that turned out good. Bonnie is sweet. She said that if she'll help the girl, she said if the girl will ask her attorneys to request mediation with the ex, Bonnie said she would mediate for free for a couple hours.
Wow.
So, but the attorneys have to request it. Bonnie can't request it.
So why would they request?
Did you know Bonnie was a hairdresser and she divorced with 3 boys in her 30s is when she got her. I mean, it's such a cool story. We went out with her Friday night. I had no idea. I thought she was an attorney. Bonnie. I thought she'd been a divorce attorney. She was a hairdresser and then a paralegal. And she did not get her law degree until her 30s.
Where'd she go to school? Where'd she go to school?
That I don't know. But she worked for a guy who paid for her test. Because she was a single mom.
Okay.
So the guy who was a divorce attorney, that's how she got into divorce. That's cool.
Well, that's why it makes sense to her. That's nice.
No, I agree. Anger
Anger is bad, yeah.
You know what? I tell you, this Trump derangement syndrome. I know something.
The what?
Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
These people are going to ruin their health by how angry you think.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK 713-8255. Oh man, and I got to tell you about ApprovalReverse.com. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage, now it's not a good idea
for most people. Isn't that easy to say? Not for most, but it's a great idea for some. It becomes a line of credit. And it's 303-713-TALK, 713-8255 is our number. But ApprovalReverse.com, Joan Sullivan, she will tell you the truth if it meets your circumstances and walk you through the whole process. 303-771-3528, 771-3528, ApprovalReverse.com. Joe Chiano, I mentioned I wanted to do a college fund for my kids. Do you have people doing that often? They put a lump sum?
We do. We have a lot of people that actually put a lump sum of money
and just leave it alone.
And leave it alone.
Now, if I want to add cash value, there's no way to do that without borrowing it and putting more money back in. If you do a lump sum or what? How do you work that?
No, if you put a lump sum, it becomes a modified endowment.
Yes.
Which is taxable, just like any other investment. Okay, so this is outside.
So what do you do to make it not an endowment?
Make it a two-pay. So
Okay.
like if you want to do $100,000
Yeah.
lump sum, you put $50,000 year one and $50,000 year two.
Now, worst case scenario, if you need the money back and you wanted to cancel it, let's just say something happened to your child or they're not going to college or you don't care. What happens? Can you get all your money back?
You can get the money back except for the cost of insurance.
Okay. So if you made enough earnings and insurance was paid for, you literally get you get your principal back and even some earnings sometimes.
Absolutely right.
Okay. So that's worst case
can't
scenario.
lose.
Or you can borrow from it and repay it.
Exactly, and keep it all tax-free.
Then when the kids want it for college, how do you work that? You take, if you're the owner, they're the benefit, it's on them, but you're the owner. Right. Would you borrow it? How do you do that?
You as the owner would borrow the money.
Yes, and pay their college.
Pay the college, and then you pay the policy, then you pay yourself back, basically.
But what if I don't want to pay off the college? I just want to keep it for college and then keep the loan outstanding.
Oh, you can do that, because see, the death benefit eventually will pay the loan off.
Okay.
So you don't have to.
So I can have a lump sum college amount to grow, or I can add. When I say lump sum, you say to pay, or you can set up a college fund where you make as many payments as you want, right?
Absolutely right. So for people that have a newborn baby, they have 18 years to accumulate money tax-free. Excellent.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Lane, what's going on with your mom?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening, man?
This is actually my ex-mother-in-law that I'm calling. I'm really concerned about her, as is all of her kids. So last spring, somehow she met some guy online, and since that time, he's managed to convince her that he was working on some offshore oil rig off the coast of Africa, and that some pirates had captured him and taken him hostage.
How much? Hold on. How old is she?
67.
67. Is she senile or normal or what?
She's not. She's normal as far as I know. I haven't spent a lot of time around.
Does he send pictures of some virile seafaring guy or whatever? I mean,
yeah. I mean, she's fallen hook, line, and sinker. Like
she's fallen in love. The guy claims he's in love with her.
Yes, and that they're going to get married when he comes home, and yeah, it's
okay.
awful.
And so, how long has she been corresponding with him?
I believe since last spring.
And how do you know it's a scam? I know it is too in my heart, but how do you know?
Because there's similar stories of attempted scams like that online.
How old is he, supposedly?
I don't know.
And he says, so they were corresponding for a while, and then eventually he said he was he was captured.
I'm not sure on those details.
But what does he want from her? Like bail money or
Yeah.
Not bail money, but
he claims the pirates need money.
Ransom,
correct.
How much?
I know in one transaction she sent $10,000.
Wait, she's already sent money?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? How much has she sent total?
I don't know, but a few $100 here and there. iTunes gift cards here and there.
The total amount.
There was at least one wire transfer that we know of for $10,000.
And okay, and when you guys tell her she's being ripped off, what does she say?
You don't know what you're talking about. She'll avoid the conversation. Fact,
no, I'm serious. Does she sound?
She won't even talk to her kids now.
Does she sound stupid? Is she stupid? I just need to ask that question.
No, I mean, I have not been part of these conversations. I'm hearing this through my ex-wife, but she's. I mean, I've known her for a lot of years. She's a smart, hardworking, honest person, but my ex mentioned that she has some concerns that she may not be as sharp as she used to be.
All right. Hey, can I ever name a number? Just kidding. Anyway, how much money does she have? Like, is she rich?
No, she didn't, up until about 10 years ago, she didn't really have anything set up for retirement. No, I convinced her to start putting away into IRAs and whatnot. She's got it. I think as far she should have a couple of $100,000 right now. And then what?
Couple $100,000?
Yes.
Okay. Where is this guy supposedly being held?
Africa. I'm not sure.
The only thing we can do is scare the hell out of him that we're on to him without her knowing it. Do you have contact? Right. Do you have contact information?
I believe we might have an email or a text.
And what? And text?
A text number or a phone number.
Try to get that to us.
Okay.
Now, what do you want? What were you hoping we'd say?
Well, she won't listen to her family.
Do you think she might listen to me? Or a stranger?
I'm not sure. Maybe. But she's in complete denial of this reality.
Tom, maybe you call her and talk to her.
I have some ideas that I don't want to discuss on the air, and I think it would convince her.
Yeah.
If you gave me...
I hate for her to give all her money away to this shyster.
Do you have... Here's what I want. I want her name, I want her email, and I want her phone number. Her bank routing number and account, too, so I can have that. I'm just kidding. Where's her Social Security? I really want her phone number, please, and her email. And I will get in touch with her. I know I have an idea. I do have an idea that will bring her to reality. 303-713-TALK. You know, a lot of people, man, they do scams. In fact, I've heard of people selling life insurance, Joe, and they weren't even real policies. How do people check out? If somebody's trying to sell them something like a financial product, what do? Well, is there a registration that you guys have?
Right. You know, we have to be licensed, for one thing, with the state, and also the...
Don't you have a license like the state of...
Well, absolutely.
Okay, what kind of license is it?
It's a life and health license.
So if they're selling insurance, you can ask for their insurance number, and you can then verify it.
Right, or you can just go to the state commissioner's office, to their website, and actually punch in their last name.
Yes.
And actually, it will come out.
And then what about registered financial advisors?
It's the same way.
You have a registration number?
You have a registration number, and you go through the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission.
SEC.
Right, and you can actually check them out.
All right, 303-713-8255. By the way, Joe's been our guest, and all that we've been talking about, like with me getting an educational fund and all that, that is available to you at becomethebanker.info, and we'll talk about the next seminar coming up.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Dan Kaplis afternoons at 4, KHOW, Denver.
From the Fox Business Network, an e-commerce giant is nixing its plans to build a headquarters in New York City. Amazon putting out a statement saying, in part, well, polls show that 70% of New Yorkers support our plans and investment. A number of state and local politicians have made it clear that they oppose our presence. New York State and City were dangling tax breaks and subsidies to the tune of $3 billion. That kicked off backlash, even protests in the borough of Queens. White House advisor and director of U.S. National Economic Council, Larry Kudlow, weighing in.
The President and I just met with Governor Cuomo, and that topic did come up, but it would have really helped New York.
Speaking to Fox's Brian Kilmeade, Amazon says it would have brought 25,000 high-paying jobs and all the tax and economic benefits that come with it. Airbus going to stop making the biggest planes in the sky, the A380 Super Jumbo jet. Airbus only made 12 of them last year. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Tom Graham.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades.
Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers.
This report is sponsored by Russell Stover.
The drive across the Mile High City Freeway system, well, there's a few blips of delays here and there. Downtown, northbound I-25 a bit slow either side of Colfax. Westbound 6th Avenue is slow either side of Federal and that Great Exchange. Southbound I-25 south of the Mousetrap a bit stop and go. That stubborn ramp northbound I-225 to westbound I-70 slow. Both directions of I-270 stop and go approaching Vasquez. And solid backups on westbound I-70 in the elevated portion. The weather forecast, mostly cloudy for the rest of today with a high of 59. Tonight, a slight chance of a rain-snow mix and a low of 26. Right now, mostly cloudy in the Mile High City, and it's 56. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Russell Stover is here to remind you that Valentine's Day is today. It's time to pick up the Russell Stover heart-shaped box full of chocolates for your Valentine. Don't forget, go now. Russell Stover. Make happy.
Well, we've certainly heard enough today on this show where you would need Joe Lazzara, a criminal defense attorney. Like, whenever there's a restraining order, don't take it lightly. Really. There's temporary at first, and then they turn into a permanent one if you don't defend it. Now, having that on your record can be a bad thing. 303-429-6200. He can also take care of any kind of criminal charges and represent you. Now, when I say take care, I mean if you have a DUI, it could be that you are guilty, and it could be your rights were violated, it could be you were falsely accused, whatever it is. He's not going to judge you. He's going to represent you through the system. And they're very complicated, and you need help. Joe Lazzara, a criminal defense attorney, on my referral list at referralist.com or lazzaralegal.com. That's L-A-Z-Z-A-R-A, lazzaralegal.com, or 303-429-6200. That's Joe Lazzara.
Cupid has invented a time machine. Check that, a Valentine machine.
Well,
with all the
does
biggest...
it have a 360 view or not? I thought it had 360 now. No, it's not.
20-second delay.
Let me see it again. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. When they move, it fuzzies. Then
What's
when
pretty
they stop,
good? What are you looking at on his?
I just got like grant stuff now. It's the same thing you're looking at, it's just delay. I got it pointed at those two in there, just see how it deals with the window.
It's wonderful, Mark.
Whether suffering from hearing loss or tinnitus.
I'm going to try to get some flying in this
of course, does evaluations, and you have to have those to see if you even need one. But then when it comes to trying them out, you can try them out one after another to make sure.
How's the audio for the people watching on this one? Can you hear it? Type something.
You don't like it, you turn it back. There is no obligation to you. And they have fantastic treatment for tinnitus.
Oh, absolutely.
This is Steve, an actual caller to my show.
It makes it so I don't even notice the tinnitus anymore.
Isn't that nice? So you control yours with the smartphone.
Yes, and it's really nice. I have to be on the phone with customers, and the ability to hear in both of my ears the conversation makes me able to do my job. I heard about Colorado tinnitus on your show, and they have just changed my life beyond description.
303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. That's Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center.
Is your heating and air conditioning system on the fritz?
Did you know more than 70%
On the Fritz. Now, where the hell did that saying come from? The Fritz. What the hell does Fritz mean? Have you, I mean, I've never used that outside of that. I knew a guy named Fritz.
$9 a month. Get a fast free quote right over the phone, and we'll get you installed in just one day.
You should have asked Ross today. I've asked him tomorrow and stuff about did you mean to do the happy endings at ED commercial?
Oh, I'm sure he did. You really don't think he did?
What did he say?
Let's see how that looks there. Oh, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild, man. Look at that new angle I just did.
That's 888-585-4033. 888-585-4033.
Is that on Neville? I got one of those things.
Do you? Is it good for
yeah, for the seminar.
For seminars?
Yeah.
Do you set it to follow you or someone's doing it?
No, I'm gonna. It can follow me.
Yeah, I know. Is that what you do though?
Yeah.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome. John, what about a garnishment? What are you talking about?
Oh, hey, Tom.
Hi.
I have a garnishment. I tried to serve this on an employer today, and the woman, I'll call her Susan, not her real name, does not work there anymore. But I.
So you have. Let's just back up a little, sir.
Okay.
You have a judgment.
A friend of mine. I'm trying to help a friend.
All right. So for all well, I just want to use you. So you have the judgment.
Okay. Have the judgment.
And the judgment was gotten as a default or regular?
That I don't know.
Well, the reason is I say when you get a default judgment, you should delay a little in enforcing it, because if you do it right away, they can fight it easily, because they can say
18 months long enough.
Yep, it's
okay.
It's perfect. So the judgment he had for 18 months. Okay, yeah. Now what? Now you're going to try to collect. And did you send interrogatories?
Sent interrogatories some time ago.
Were they answered?
They were not, because they were not served.
Well, okay.
The person had moved.
Here's the deal. Once they're served, here's the easiest way to do it. You serve them with interrogatories. They almost never answer them. Then you have them arrested, and you can have a private eye do it or someone, and they are arrested. When they are arrested, then the bail they put up is the amount of the debt. Of the judgment. It is almost foolproof. Didn't we get that guy? Who was that scumbag, Mark? That guy in
Jay Lopez.
You're right, Jay Lopez. And then, there's no reason for him not to show up, because if he doesn't, he forfeits it. So either way, you get your money, and you know damn well if they're in jail, they're going to come up with the money. So it's just a good way to do it, but you got to get them served. Now, obviously, you also have to get the garnishment served, but not necessarily. You can forget the garnishment and just go directly for the interrogatories are important, and most people don't answer them. If you get them on any court order that they don't answer, you can get a warrant for their arrest, and you can have it executed. So, anyway, where are we right now, and why did you call? I'll let you continue.
Well, I want to know what the next step was.
Oh, I just told you.
Does the interrogatory get served on the person?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to find out how to contact her.
Yeah, if they dodge you, then that's a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
this person, how much is the judgment?
It's $3,500 at this point is all.
Okay. And where is the person? When was this person last at a place?
I saw this person about 20 minutes ago.
And why didn't you serve this person?
Well, all I had was the garnishment, writ of garnishment. Get
the interrogatories.
Yeah.
How'd you find them?
I went to the place where she used to work. I thought she still worked there. Took a dozen roses for Valentine's Day.
Oh, you are a smart man.
Her friend called her and said, "Hey, come get these roses."
And did you give the roses?
I gave her the roses.
Oh, because you felt bad. Well, anyway, you don't want to. Well, actually, what's smart?
Actually, I'd already given the roses to the friend to entice her to call her.
But what's really weird, John, is that what's good, is you didn't let them know you're after her, because she'll be dodging next time. But she doesn't know it. So I would do it again that way. I would do it like with an Amazon box or something.
Well, no, she does know that we're after her, because she saw me waiting outside for her.
Oh, she knows you had the roses?
I was going to try to follow her back to where she was working, but that did not pan out. I do have her driver's or license plate number.
Good. Well, you're going to have to serve her. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Interrogatories. And the reason I say
track her down and serve that for me.
And make sure the interrogatories are pointed so it gives you good information.
Okay.
Because you want to ask some very pointed questions. Mark, do we have a private eye on the site that's pretty good at that? Yeah, we do. Okay. Clear Creek Investigations. You're going to have to hire somebody. For $3,500, it's worth it. Or you know what you could do? Sometimes good collectors will take a debt for like 33% or something.
Okay.
And then they do all the work, man, and they can they might be able to get it done.
This report is sponsored by Russell Stover.
Travel around the metro area.
I can't figure out, how do you do the follow? Do you know, Joe?
I don't. My son did. See, we got there. See right here, Mark. Mark. You have this and all that, right?
Yeah. I'm in it. I don't know.
Okay,
I see the button for follow, but I can't see
that camera.
Yeah, we do. I like it.
But do you save the shots, or do you call them as you go?
I just call them as I go.
While you're doing your thing.
While I'm doing my thing, yeah.
How do you look down and pick a shot while you're doing it?
Well, my son actually is doing it.
Oh,
yeah. He's doing it. So. But I mean, there's another camera that I like better than this, Mark. It's called the Owl. Just like, look it up on Amazon. Owl.
What does it do?
It does it better than that.
You know the best decision I made more than 10 years ago? Excel Services for cleaning. They also do other things. But they do windows and carpets and gutters. They put up and take down Christmas decorations, Christmas lights. They're locally owned and operated, not a franchise. In business 25 years. Bonded, insured, workers' comp, the real deal. If you are looking for someone to clean your house, you won't do better. They're wonderful people. And he's a great owner, Jim, and he sends out the crews are all excellent, no matter who you get. And they get to know you. And you can do, like, by the way, no contracts. One-time cleaning, move in, move out, after parties. They can do deep cleans. They do weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or you pick a custom cycle, like every 6 weeks. And you choose anything you want, residential and commercial, 303-683-3470, Excel, as in excellent, excelservicesnetwork.com.
About 40% of Americans carry a credit card balance, but excluding people with credit scores over 720, that number's more like 75%. Reports show that U.S. households...
I don't know if it's because there's too much going on, it's not following.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't follow with too much going on, Mark, because you have to be pretty still, and then and it's not always as intelligent as you think. What do you like about the Owl, sir?
I like it.
What does it do?
I haven't bought it yet, but a friend of mine actually bought it, and it actually folds the shoe a lot easier than the metal.
See right here, look, I got me on there.
Unlike other
Follow live, and then it just...
Hello.
A year.
Okay, it's got you. Now walk a little.
Up to 2 months of mortgage.
It drops you. It's weird.
No, but it went live. And then right here.
But
If I do this, look at this, folks. Look at this. See? It sees motion and came to me.
Okay, so if I do this...
But you do more than that. You got to, like, address the camera. Yeah.
Not working.
You say, I got to tell you, folks. I got to tell you, folks.
I gotta tell you, Dan is an engineer. Not a good one.
It's like a 20-second rule.
I do like,
there, I got to
Look at the Owl.
No, that's Mark. Oh, I thought you were the Owl.
I really would like to get something set up so it's really... Are these our cameras up there, right? Yeah.
Those we use all the time. I like this shot.
It's a big shot, and that way, right.
And actually, it should go back even further. It should be about like... Let's see how that looks. That's an impressive shot. That's a good wide
It's not yet. So it hasn't come up there. Wait 20 seconds. Let me see that.
I'll show him.
It's very clear. Just like what we
Well, it has everybody. It has you.
Yeah.
It has everybody.
There it is. There it is. That's the shot there.
Yeah.
We just back.
Very nice. Yeah. I have that. And you can put that on Gmail.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Hey there.
What's happening, Martha?
Oh, I recently just moved here from Nebraska, and I just moved into this new property, and it's owned by a cut above. They advertise as it being a laundry on-site place, Now I get here, and I try to unlock the laundry room. I don't have access to it at all.
Why?
And they assure me that it has been vandalized, and they will get back to me as soon as possible.
Oh, so they do have laundry on site. It's just not immediately available.
Now, that's what I thought, right? So I contacted them again a couple days later because they give you that 7 days to do the tenant-landlord checkout sheet. So I'm calling them in order to mark things down on my sheet. You know, they have their markings already that say excellent, whatever. I want to be able to mark things as poor.
Right.
Seeing as I found a lot of things in my apartment that were already a problem.
Yeah.
So I go down there. I'm not able to access it, whatever. They tell me that it's been vandalized. Well, today I walk down there and there's someone doing laundry.
Why? Wait. Why won't they let you use it?
Because it's been vandalized and it's not able to use.
No. But why is someone doing laundry is what I'm asking.
Exactly. The reason they were doing laundry is because the laundry machine has been broken for over a year and a half, the dryer, and they still have a washer in there, but they locked access to it so no one could use it because they weren't making any money off it.
Except one person. This one person, why are they doing it?
The other tenants that live here have a key to the laundry.
But why don't you? I mean, in other words, I don't understand it.
I don't either. I asked them the same thing. They say that it's not available right now, but the other 3 tenants, it's a fourplex, they're able to get in.
Did you ask about that? Did you say, why are the other tenants using it?
I did, and I walked in there today.
And what did they say?
And they basically told me that's how the cookie crumbles, and they will get to it as soon as possible. And then I came back with the argument that it's been broken for over a year and a half, and I did not.
Okay, so you can. This would be justified to break your lease. Why don't you just break your lease?
I just moved in a week ago for $3,000.
I know, but you'll get your money. Listen, you'll have to pay for the month, maybe. But if truly this is enough, and you can show that they breached their contract, I would sue them for it, and I would leave. You know, first of all, I don't understand. People are using it. It's just that you can't use it.
I guess they're not supposed to use it. They're not supposed to use it because okay, so there's a part that's broken in the dryer. The other neighbors have told me the part is too expensive to fix, so they've been dragging their feet about it, and it's been about a year and a half now, and nothing's been done. So they just lock it up completely, say it's done for.
Why don't you sue them? Listen, I would sue them in small claims court for the amount. For the remainder of your lease. I'm serious. You got to do something to move them off the dime. You either do a constructive eviction saying it was a breach of contract, if you can prove it is, if you can prove it's in your lease. If it says nothing said outside of this lease is enforceable, then you're screwed. But if you can prove what you're saying, you sue them for breach. No, you move. You demand your deposit back and you move. If they don't give your deposit, you sue them in small claims court, and you want to do a constructive eviction. You can even do it while you're living there, saying you want it to be at the end of the month, and if you can get a court date, if not, you move it up till February, and you just try to get out of there as soon as possible, and the judge will order them to refund your deposit. You won't be dinged for ending the lease. You have to sue for it. It's called a constructive eviction for breach of contract. You can do it for breach of habitability standards. You can do it, and then a judge most of the time will grant that if in fact you can prove it. If not, you can also just to get their attention, figure out what it's going to cost you to have your laundry done for the next year. I would even have somebody coming, picking it up, and delivering it. And that's because you said it was on site. Therefore, that would be similar to getting your laundry done on site. I would calculate that for the remainder of the lease, and I literally would sue them in small claims court for that amount. And I would say this is a breach of contract. But you have to be able to prove what you're saying.
And I am. It is listed in my lease and on the tenant.
Well, then I don't see how they get around it. I don't see how they do. I would.
She told me she's not reimbursing me. She basically screamed this at me today, and she said, we're never reimbursing you for any laundry. And I said I would never have applied for a place that didn't have on-site.
Listen, it's easy. She doesn't have to voluntarily do it. You're going to get a judgment. I don't see how they get around it. We keep saying the same thing, okay? You got to start fighting. I can't do it. You're the one injured. You have to do it. Because these people don't care. If we call them up and say, hey, you better get that fixed, they'll tell us to go sit on it because they don't care. They don't depend on the public coming there and patronizing them. They don't care. They don't need customers. They only have 4 tenants. They're dirtbags, so you have to fight them. And you'll win. If you're telling me it's in your lease, they have breached your lease. And you have damages as a result of the breach. So I would definitely calculate 1 year worth of laundry. Now, they tell the judge it's not, we're going to get it fixed before a year's up. Then say, you know, Your Honor, this has been broke for this long. I would even get other tenants if they care to come in. But I would do it immediately. You'll get their attention. And you know what, Martha? They may want to evict you, but they have to give your money. They will. Okay, Joe Cano, when is your next seminar or webinar, or how do people find out more about becomethebanker.info? Right there is a great video. What else?
Hey, Tom, it's going to be Thursday the 21st at 6:30 p.m.
The 21st, so that's coming right up.
In Centennial. And then
that's
we have
Thursday,
another one.
So that's next Thursday night.
Right. So we have another one on Saturday the 23rd in Lakewood at 10:30 in the morning. And they're free.
Okay,
Absolutely free.
779-6600?
That is correct. That's the number.
Now, can they do a private one-on-one?
They can. They can have a meeting with me individually, or we can do a webinar.
Okay.
But they don't have to leave their home. We can do it from the comfort of their home.
And it's 303-779-6600, 779-6600, or becomethebanker.info, becomethebanker.info. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. You hear me say this all the time, and I certainly mean it. Referralist.com. Save all your problems for me.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
You know, there is a safe conservative investment that's not a qualified plan, so you don't have all the requirements